Mixed Tag Show.
Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna
And Blue. Damn.
Now, here's your host,
Jenna and Blue Magic.
What's Gucci?
What's going on?
You are listening and watching the
Mixed Tag Show with Jenna and
Blue. What's up, man?
what's going on? How was your week?
It's good. I went back to work after my vacation.
Yeah, for your birthday vacation, right?
Yes.
Had fun?
I did. You showed up for my little birthday thing. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had me. I had a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad.
We had fun at Blend in Astoria.
Yes. Good for you. Look at you know the details. Like you remember.
I do.
Good.
It
Well.
belongs to Carmelo.
Okay.
Say Carmelo.
Okay.
Carmelo.
What, is she? Carmela's on the brain, like.
No, Carmelo.
Oh
DJ
no,
Carmelo.
because I heard Carmela. So.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching a lot of wrestling.
Okay. Where's my gift? My birthday.
It's on its way. I have something that you really need.
Oh. Really?
on
What do
the-
I need?
You'll see when you get it.
Is it The Rock related? And are you giving me The Rock?
No, it's not wrestling related. I think more of you as a personal friend now. So I got you a personal gift.
Yeah.
All right. then.
I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say, all right,
I'm
then.
kidding.
Cancel?
Wow, if it's already in the mail, like you can't cancel it.
Nah, I'll show up to FedEx. Can I get that package back?
Wow, okay. How was Orlando?
Orlando was amazing.
Being the
Undisputed. Yeah, we dropped a little something. Know what I mean?
no, I don't. No, I mean, what is it? Like, no, actually, I don't.
Yeah, no, we dropped a little being the Undisputed.
Is that like kind of like copyright infringement or?
No, it's not. All right? It's just us enjoying the trip. We had fun. We want to share with the people.
Oh, well, you're back in, the tri-state area,
Yeah.
New York, preferably,
You gotta come to Orlando with me next time. We had a lot of fun.
maybe. Anyway,
See, Matt, I be sending her invites. She canceled. Matt will come with me next time. How about that?
obviously because you guys are like a tag team, but no biggie. We have an exciting show today.
Yes, we do. We have a special guest joining us today.
We have Miss Ashlee White.
Our first guest. Yeah.
She's here, people. She's coming on later on to the show. We're gonna get to know a little bit about her, obviously,
Yep.
because we don't really want to hear about you.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
See?
Yeah.
Matt, yep.
Well. Anyway, she definitely has a podcast coming out soon, so she's gonna talk about that, and we're gonna get into just some extreme rule predictions and
And we're going
hot
to get
topics.
into some hot topics. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you know,
It is
Thursday.
So we have a WWE shop
Ah.
sale
yes,
and a
it
throwback tee.
is what.
Dude love. Dude
The
love.
sale today is 50% off replica tag titles. You should get us some.
I should get us some.
So because we're a tag team, so we just.
How about we go half on it since it's 50% off?
Well, we can't technically. They don't sell it like. I mean, you know what I mean, if you're willing to spend that. But they don't sell it as a package thing, so we can't really go half on it.
Maybe we should ask about that. When is y'all gonna send us a
I don't think they're
package?
going to send us that or replica tag
No, I'm
team.
saying for us to buy as a combo.
Okay, whatever. But it is a Legend sale, 50% off, so definitely. Well, it's not 50% off the Legend stuff, but don't go crazy.
50% off the tag team
That's
titles.
it. The replica tag team titles.
Right.
Go crazy on that.
And then
Make sure you
get the throwback tee.
There
Dude
you go.
love. Boom.
definitely make sure you click on our link. Help a sister and brother
Yeah.
out. We need all the coins we can get.
All of it.
Our link is provided in our description box on YouTube.
We didn't even get no Chipotle today.
I ate, so I'm fine. What do you
Wow.
why
Gee,
Chipotle? Why are
thanks.
that was
Wow.
random.
Because sometimes we go to Chipotle before the show.
Anyway,
She got food without me. Yeah,
I had food earlier. Anyway, the link is provided in our YouTube link, also on our pages, our social media pages at the Mixed Tag Show, and also our personal pages at.
Blue Magic Grind.
Wow, you seem
Spelled how it
disappointed,
sound.
bro.
You broke our tradition. We ate before every show.
At Miss Jenna Baby,
this day.
BAYBEE. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of the WWE shop, we actually Can you get over it?
Go ahead. I'm offended.
Because we have a guest we need to bring on, so
I know.
you'll get over
company,
it.
Not in front of company.
Right, because I always get on you, hurt your feelings a little bit more, so that you'll get over this. We speaking of the WWE shop, we're doing a giveaway.
Yes, we're giving away our first shirt.
Applaud, please.
We'll be giving away the Roman Reigns shirt.
That I wore in
the promo video that we dropped yesterday.
Yep.
Is a size small.
Small, so it's for the ladies.
If you can fit it, we're gonna give you directions on how to win it.
Exactly. So just make sure you stay tuned.
Pay attention.
Exactly. Stay tuned. Go on our Instagram page, Twitter page, and what have you.
At the Mixed Tag Show.
At the Mixed Tag Show. Plug us in. Put us over.
And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can push one of the buttons down there, or wait till the end of the video when the button comes up.
Boom. Let's get into
the draft.
So I had a pretty decent week.
Yeah, you did.
The Queen's Court.
Wait, there you go.
Boom. Had 179 points, while Blue Magic Club had 141 points this week. In total...
You finally broke the 2,000 mark.
Thank God. I'm saving some face, right?
Yeah.
You guys think I can catch up or no?
Sure.
Yeah. 2,097 points for the Queen's Court. And, Blue Magic Club.
Yeah. You're not part of the Blue Magic Club. Yeah.
So I'm supporting you, and you don't want that. Anytime my thing is, I bring you down constantly.
How many points do I have?
And then you get on me. But when I support you, like I'm finally like throwing in the white flag, you know what I mean? You're giving me a hard time.
How many points do I have?
Nothing. How about that? 2,786 points. So, of course, Blue Magic Club is still ahead by a good amount. Happy about that?
Sure.
Right. Well, let's get into the show because...
We have a lot to do.
We have a lot to talk about, right? So, go ahead. Break it down for me.
Well, Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley kicked off the show, had a little backstage segment, and then it kind of, Bobby's like, if you still go out into the ring, I might have to come out there if you call me out. Roman starts his promo. Bobby Lashley comes out.
There you go.
And then Kurt Angle says this is not going to happen now. But, of course, it does. The brawl breaks out.
And locker room comes to separate the two, but...
They are going at it, manhandling each other.
They can't stop them.
Nope.
So it's funny because when we were live tweeting for the show, I had said, you know what? There shouldn't be any talking. After that whole altercation with Roman and Bobby backstage, Bobby should just came out and attack Roman. On site. So, again, we're doing the whole thing if we're changing up the show, how I would produce it. I wouldn't have even let Roman get to the ring. I would have had Bobby just come out and attack him. That would have had the fans go nuts, and just the brawl just breaks out all over the arena type thing, and have then the locker room come out and try to separate them. Obviously, Kurt Angle backstage going nuts to stop it, and a whole bunch of chaos. So I would tweak it a little bit if we're going to continue this feud, which we obviously are.
And I agree with you. I'd have had Bobby attack Roman right backstage area off the bat.
There you go.
Off the bat.
Just you're not even coming out.
On site.
I got you on site.
And then the locker room try to break them up. And even have a little bit of outside interaction for the two. Because it would have been dope to see somebody get thrown through a car or something.
I missed that physical altercation.
Right.
Okay, so we kind of agree. We'll do a co-produced opening segment, right?
Yeah, we could coexist for a little bit.
Sasha Banks and Bayley went to counseling last week, right? When they had Dr. Shelby. This week, someone completely different. It was a more serious approach. How did you like it? What would you change? What's your direction with this feud?
First of all, I think it sucked that Sasha Banks was not in the arena in Boston.
In her hometown, Bosstown.
Like, it made no sense. They could have had a therapy session in the ring.
They could have.
Just to bring them out and have something where, Kurt Angle says, look like our guys making progress. And set up a tag team match for you guys to kick off Extreme Rules against the White Squad or something like that. That would have been dope.
Yeah.
And then have them do whatever they need to do there.
Right.
That's how I would change it.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little disappointing because, I love to see the hometown pop for whatever superstar.
Good thing you didn't go.
Why would I drive 4 hours or what have you to Boston?
I didn't know if Boston was that far.
Oh, well, it's kind of far.
Okay.
I mean, it's not far, 4 hours, but I'm not doing that, especially when I had to go to work the next day. Who's going to do that?
Yeah, I forgot you were at work.
Exactly.
I was away.
So that's how you would change the segment?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if that's what how they're heading because, like I said, this week it got more serious as opposed to last week was slightly silly. I thought it was funny, by the way. But anyway, it looked like Bailey was kind of like if you read her face, it seemed like you're my friend and this is what you did. You hurt me type thing. And Sasha was looking like she was listening to what she had to say. You know how when you have a beef with someone, you kind of come into a realization or what have you.
Aha moment.
Yeah, so I would have, if that's what they were getting at, I would have allowed that just so the next week, because Sasha and Bailey now have to report back to Kurt Angle, everything is fine, and then that's when you get the turn.
Right.
So we can get this match going for SummerSlam.
Yep.
So are you okay with them not having a match at Extreme Rules?
No, that's why I said they should have had like a tag team match or something.
So you're not okay with that?
No,
okay.
they have to. Well, I've heard that they're doing a different direction with the pay-per-views and the Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go into more of a NXT format where you're not gonna see the same people every week.
It's a congested roster.
Right. So they're trying to give breathers so you won't get tired of everybody, and they have enough people to move around now to do this. So
yeah, but they got to do a better job at that because we're lit.
I mean,
all right, corporate. We know who's the corporate guy, right? So, but yeah, I would change that. I'm okay with them not having a match at Extreme Rules just because it leaves it again. Everybody's waiting for SummerSlam, but I would have loved to see both of them get physical. I'm not gonna even hold you to that. So,
right.
I'm just checking my appearance.
Of course, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins had a match where if Seth Rollins won, Drew McIntyre would be banned from ringside at Extreme Rules.
And of course not. That wasn't happening.
They had a very decent match.
It was a good match. I mean, it was a boring Raw again. So this was one of the highlights of the show. I wouldn't have changed a thing in that sense. It's working. Drew and Dolph is working, even though a lot of people were just like, I think I was one of them that was just like, And so it's working. And again, this pay-per-view is supposed to be extreme, so you have to have all type of stipulations or, obstacles get into someone's way. So hopefully I would have, in this match between Dolph and Seth, have Drew obviously get involved and attack Seth with possibly some weapons and what have you. So I would like to see that because it's extreme.
Right.
I got really extreme with the mic just now.
It's fine.
Kinda, yeah. All right. It was excited, man. I'm passionate. So, yeah.
Yeah, Extreme Rules is not really extreme anymore.
It hasn't been, since 20, I don't know, 20 whatever. It's just, what's the whole point of it being extreme?
What do you give Raw?
Oh, that wasn't a good Raw. I was super annoyed. Again, I always say this every week. I mention something that I put on my personal Twitter at Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
Why do you need me to put your over if you put yours over?
Hey. What?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
How you grade Raw?
I feel like I don't know how anyone is comfortable constantly putting out bad TV. I don't know. No one's. I know there's a lot of people that you can't say. There's so much that you can say, but it's just like, does someone stand up and be like, "Yo, this is not good. Let's do this. Let's change this." With that said, I rate Raw a D.
I'd give it about a C minus C plus.
Okay.
I guess because I was enjoying it only because I was watching my boys and we was cracking jokes throughout the whole time. We made Raw fun. To be honest, it's like that.
Okay.
But the fans of Raw, our listeners, rated it a C.
Okay, so I was the only one that was harsh on supposedly my show.
That's fine. You got to be hard on your own.
What?
You got to be hard on your own. Like you got to you want more from people that you support.
So on SmackDown Live, we start off with Miss TV featuring Team Hell No. Obviously, there's a building tension between Miz and Daniel Bryan. Bludgeon Brothers come out to to help Miz just because Miz took a jab at Kane. Then Sanity comes out and attacks Team Hell No. Then New Day comes out and attacks them. So obviously this sets
I
up
wonder what this is gonna lead to.
holla holla holla. Sets up a tag team match for the main event between
Team Hell No. And
New Day versus Sanity and the Bludgeon Brothers. Reason why I wanted to talk about this because last week you had the Usos involved against Team Hell No.
Right.
And even prior to that, you had Usos you thought there was a feud possibly.
With
Sanity. So they're hot. They're always going to be hot. So why not? I would change it to where you have the Usos involved. Just let's have all it's Extreme Rules. Just make it extreme. You know, when Usos and New Day get involved, there's always magic. I would have had them got involved too. So, maybe in the kickoff show, which was later mentioned earlier in the day, in the kickoff show, you had Usos, New Day, and Sanity. Just make it crazy. And what are we doing with Sanity? Again, we mentioned this before. Sanity
hasn't won in a while.
If that. They haven't won since they've been on the main roster, right?
Yeah, they haven't won in the main roster.
So, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Hopefully they win at Extreme Rules, but it's just like, what are we doing?
To follow that, we had Asuka versus James Ellsworth.
You wouldn't change anything?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Me, I would... No, that segment was pretty fine.
You would have included the Usos?
The Usos? Nah, only because I see that... Because there's nothing... Because all that's going to do is... Usos is... I want the Usos to do something different. I know it sounds weird, but I just need them to build with Naomi.
Okay.
And build that trio a bit, only because I could see them coming back at Sanity with Nikki Cross.
Got it.
So, like, right now, it's cool. Was they even on... I don't even think they was on TV this week, right?
Who?
The Usos.
No.
So, yes, let them refresh and then come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming back for you guys after whatever match you have on Sunday.
Next match we're talking about? The next match we're...
Asuka versus James Ellsworth in a Lumberjill match. SmackDown Women's Locker Room came out for the Lumberjill match, and they got involved.
Is it called Lumberjill? I put it there, but is that what they call it with the women? Because I noticed they
switch it back and forth.
Yeah, they don't keep it consistent.
No, they're not consistent. We ask them for too much.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess. Apparently. We spent all this money, but good.
The SmackDown Women's Locker Room was going at Ellsworth for a bit, and all of a sudden they went against each other. That was kind of random to me. I'm like...
And, of course, Asuka defeated Ellsworth.
Yep.
And then Carmella got the sneak attack with help with Ellsworth.
With the spray bottle.
Yeah, so... I don't know. What are we doing with Asuka? You went from someone that was having dominant matches in NXT, you know what I mean, to... Now it's just like she's having a feud with Ellsworth. Like, there's it's just bad juju with Ellsworth, right? It's just like, I feel like he doesn't, I don't know. I wouldn't have done all of this. Make Asuka dominant again and let's have her, why are you laughing?
So we going with Matter? Make Asuka dominant again?
Yikes. I need a hat.
Yeah, you need a hat.
Anyway, I'm not going to touch that one. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think that this is totally different. I'm okay with this. Okay with it a little bit. Only because it's storytelling. Yeah. But again, it's like, what are we doing with Asuka? Yeah. At this point, I would have. I know I love Carmella. I love what she's been doing. Hopefully, on Sunday, to let her win.
We'll see. Now we finally had the match we were kind of been waiting for.
Sin Cara versus Andrade.
Andrade.
That's what I just said.
Okay, just making sure.
Cien Almas.
Okay.
And Andrade defeats Sin Cara.
I just don't know why you have an issue with that man.
I don't.
Okay, so
Andrade defeats Sin Cara.
Sin Cara.
And they had a great match.
Yes. So they did. It was 8 minutes long.
It's pretty good.
It was TV. Pretty good. I love what Zelina and him are doing. I don't know if you noticed at the live shows.
Yeah.
Tranquilo, like she's joining him.
Right.
I think that's super dope. This could be a good feud. Just I would have Andrade there's a story behind it, right? They used to be friends, so just constantly attack them like they did a couple of weeks ago when they randomly attacked them. And I would have had Zelina cut a promo. She's the reason why he is what he is right now in the WWE. So I think they missed the ball there for not having her cut a promo. You know what I mean? On Tuesday's episode.
Yeah, and I would love to see this. I would wish they would bring. This was set up for Sin Cara to bring up somebody to help him to combat Zelina and balance this out a bit.
Maybe.
But you know, wishful thinking.
What did you rate SmackDown?
I give it like a C plus.
Okay.
It was slightly better than Raw.
It was slightly better. It wasn't all that great, but it was slightly better. 205 Live. We had.
What'd you give it?
I said the same thing. I said I agreed with you.
And our listeners gave it a B.
Okay, it must have been that good. 205 Live, we had Cedric Alexander versus Hideo Itami for the Cruiserweight Championship match. Reason why I wanted to talk about that real quick, I think it's time to let that man drop the title.
To who, though?
To Mustafa or Buddy Murphy.
Mustafa should have won it.
Yeah, last week
should have won it.
Yeah, last week their match was insane.
I still didn't watch it yet.
I told you to watch that match.
I know, it's been so crazy.
Oh my God, that match was amazing. And just to see how those two put on a show, I think Cedric needs to drop it. He's a good wrestler, but that character is just not. That wasn't a good match between him and for me. I wasn't invested.
Decent.
I wasn't decent.
It wasn't like, oh my God, from what I'm hearing from last week.
Yeah,
but it was decent.
And he's had the title for too long, and he's not elevating really anyone. Mustafa and Buddy Murphy are elevating
each other.
Yeah, but Cedric is not really elevating anyone. Nothing much happened on NXT, right?
205 just need to redo and send away, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think they need to just do the live events just to really get, because the fact that Mustafa and Buddy Murphy are not, like, people don't actually realize how good they are and see the talent that some of these superstars has, it's a crime. So, but yeah, we had NXT.
NXT, not much happened. Adam Cole defeated Birch.
Well, besides that, we have a Fatal 4-Way match next week. Yeah,
that was also announced later that it's going to be Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross,
Candice LeRae,
a.k.a.
Mrs. Wrestling,
and Bianca Belair in a Fatal 4-Way.
I mean, even though Kyrie's on my team, I love Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca's dope.
She's a beast on the mic.
You see the promo she dropped during she was
when she was on her honeymoon. It was badass.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of rooting for her.
But I feel like it's gonna be Candice LeRae that's gonna come out and gonna face Shayna at Brooklyn for the title.
So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. I would have Bianca just because I think she's ready. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that's WWE. We had
Undisputed Era won their tag team titles back from Mustache Mountain.
We had New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got a guest on the show, bro.
I know, but I'm just wondering. They won the titles back. You gotta make an announcement about that. They won the titles back.
Okay. Congratulations to them.
Yes, thank you. Heading over to G1.
I know that shit. I know. That's undisputed. I know you.
They won the titles back. Respect the crew.
My fault. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Thank you. G1 special. Hiromu Takahashi versus Dragon Lee.
Ooh, you said that real smooth.
Nice with it. Really.
Okay.
All right. IWG champion was defended, and Takahashi defeated Lee, but he did it with a broken freaking neck.
Kurt Angle?
No, Takahashi.
I mean, Kurt,
I know what you did. I know.
You have to make sure.
I got you. But yeah, he won it, and it was a very decent match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I started dozing off just because, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
It's very long matches.
Correct.
It's very winded.
But I did hear it was a really good match.
Switchblade Jay White versus Juice Robinson for the IWGP US Championship.
I did watch that. Jay White created super major heat when he threw Juice into the guardrail.
Yep.
And that wasn't scripted.
Nope, and it hit JR in the rib with the table.
Which we'll talk a little bit on Hot Topics.
Right, because, he got hurt from that.
Yeah.
And Josh Barnett was not feeling it, got up and ran after him. And that wasn't scripted either. Like, he really called him out. It was like, nah, like...
Oh, so it was legit.
It was legit.
Oh, my God.
That's why he was surprised. Jay White was surprised when it happened because I don't even think he realized what happened.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why he was running away. That's why the ref was just like confused, like.
Okay, what's going on?
But Juice Robinson did win the title from Jay White.
Good.
It's like a nice little reset for the U.S. Championship because you went from Omega to Jay White and now Juice Robinson. You remember who Juice Robinson is?
What do you mean?
He used to be in NXT.
Yeah. I do
Parker.
remember. I do.
C.J. Parker.
C.J. Parker, exactly.
Yep.
I do remember. With that hair, you can't miss.
Yeah,
you can't
he
miss
was
that,
a
man.
hippie.
Now we had the main event.
Yes.
And this is crazy. Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
For the IWGP.
Heavyweight Championship.
Boom. It was a sick match. I mean, there was some crazy spots. We had Cody when he did a suplex.
Off the ladder.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Or when Kenny threw this man into the table and it didn't break.
Yeah, he tried to powerbomb him through the outside, and it just moved. I'm like, oh my.
I know. So I know that definitely had to hurt.
And the storytelling of the Young Bucks just trying to constantly tell
love
Kenny,
them.
back off, yo, don't do too much.
And
then
Brandy there to make sure her
right,
man is
right.
good.
And then going to Cody, and Cody's second guessing a lot of stuff now. Like, all right, so now you start seeing like, all right, Bullet Club might be all right.
It might be okay. It's just it's a competitive, match.
Right. And after the match is over,
Kenny won.
Kenny won. He went over to pick up Cody Rhodes.
Yep, and he picked him up.
Yep,
and
Cody
just left. It wasn't any,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Kenny and Young Bucks, spoke to the crowd, went back, celebrated a little bit more. It was the whole Too Sweet thing, and then
Tama Tonga.
OGBC.
Yeah, Tonga Loa and King Haku came out to congratulate them, and then we see
everything was all Gucci.
All of them are Too Sweet and Young Bucks,
Even,
Omega.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, y'all taking this $10,000 again? Like,
you go.
y'all lit.
But then
Tama Tonga attacks Kenny Omega.
boom,
And
we
then
had
Tanaloa and Haku follow up.
we
And
had the firing squad.
yeah, they took off the shirt showing the firing squad.
You told me to remind you to get that shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna purchase it when we leave here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you gonna buy it for anybody else? Wow.
I'll see how my check look. Let's see how these W shop things are looking.
Oh.
And then
Make sure you buy.
there you go.
There you go.
Then the rest of the BC came out little by little. First it was Adam Page, who's known to be with the Elite.
Yeah.
That's what we call him. And he tried to make the save. Nope, he gets beat up. Marty Scurll came out. He gets beat up.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the others came out, that usually come out with the Tongas.
Chase Owens.
Chase Owens.
Yeah.
And Tajiri,
Mm-hmm.
they came out, and everybody's like, all right, they cool with them, so maybe they can cool them down.
Mm-hmm.
And they see how they was acting towards the Elite. It's like, nah, y'all not on our side. And attack them, that broke my heart.
Which is crazy because that's very OG. So
Right.
it would have been better to see them that camaraderie because
Yeah.
it's the number game against them is 3 against a million.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
so when he attacked them, it broke my heart, especially with Chase Owens. I'm like, yo, Chase
Owens especially.
Yeah. And then Cody
came out, and we thought maybe possibly, the power struggle would get to his head and that he would attack
I thought
Kenny.
it was going to be all his idea. I'm like, yo, you planned this?
Right. But he went and attacked,
Tama Tonga.
yes, and then they were like, all right, well, you're not with us, and they
Nope.
attacked them. So obviously now we have a new faction
Within the Bullet Club.
within Bullet Club.
Civil War.
A civil war, that's a good word. Good
It's
job,
a civil
sir.
war right now between the Elite versus Fighting Squad.
Boom. So that leads to an impromptu question that I had. Bullet Club is just so big right now. You know what I mean? It's the whole Too Sweet. If you weren't watching wrestling back in the day and actually knew what this symbol was, Bullet Club has taken it to a whole nother level, right?
Yep.
So that it makes me think, is Bullet Club the biggest faction we've seen in wrestling, period?
The biggest or the best?
Okay, both. Best, yeah.
I think they're more smart.
They're smarter?
Yeah, their marketing is way more better to make sure their name got out there.
Yeah.
I don't think they were the best, only because of what the NWO did. They're
You know-
a shadow of the NWO.
And I was gonna say that I think they definitely have taken a page out of NWO's book just because one, the whole Too Sweet thing, the whole black, like what I mean, you got the gear. It's just that
they not only NWO from the clique in general.
in general, exactly. And on top of that too, I'm afraid for Bullet Club in a sense, just because where can you go? I mean, they're finding different ways, but the Civil War thing is just Wolfpack versus regular NWO, and then all these other different,
Right.
you know what I mean, factions within the group. So I'm afraid. I don't know. How do you feel?
I'm not too worried about it.
Okay.
Only because
They're not in the WWE. It's okay.
Huh?
They're not in the WWE.
Right. And honestly, I think this was eventually going to lead to is a few of them is going to leave and head to the W anyway. So this needed to happen before.
Okay, so they're just getting as much as they can out of it.
Right, because those OGBCs are going to be there at the end of it.
Okay.
A couple of others are not going to be there by next year. So they got to do it now.
So do you think this is the best turn we've ever seen just in wrestling, period?
I'll say second best after Hogan's turn.
But what about Seth Rollins and when he turned on the Shield? That was
That was a shocker, but this is totally different. This was way more vicious.
And this is personal.
This is exactly, you saw the build for it. Like you anticipated it and you still didn't see it coming.
And it makes sense when you think about it. Like, you know, the newer Bullet Club members, you know, with Cody and Hangman and all these different people, it's like, okay, we've been here doing it way longer than you were ever doing it.
Right.
And to take the spotlight away from us, it's time for us to stand our ground. And we're the real Bullet Club. So it's good. It was entertaining. I love them. You know, I know I'm on the bandwagon, but it's the truth.
Yeah, and it showed too when they dropped the video where Bad Luck Fale calls Tamatonga and Tamalau is like, yo, it's time.
Yeah, there it is.
It's time. So
there it is.
there we go. So yeah,
Okay.
the second best turn. What about you?
Like I said, with Seth, NWO, and now this, I think it's more or less the
Top three?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring our guest in here.
Ooh, our first one.
Yep, it is Ashlee White.
Hey!
What's up, Ashlee? How are you?
I'm so good. So happy to be here.
Yes, we finally got you
Finally.
on. Finally, it's been a couple of weeks. We were trying to get you on, but here you are, right?
Yes. Worth the wait.
There you go. So what we're gonna get into some wrestling and some more wrestling and right? Wrestling, right?
Sounds good.
And definitely we're gonna get to know you a little bit more. So definitely excited about that.
Yeah, and the best way to do that, let's start off with an icebreaker.
Ooh, icebreaker.
Right here on the show.
I like
it's the
a
first
good
time
icebreaker.
you're doing something like this. So the question is, you've been exiled on a deserted island for a year. And in addition to obvious essentials, you know, like you take with you, what is something you take? Like one piece of music, you can take one book.
Can't be the Bible.
It cannot be the Bible. And it's going to be one luxury item.
Ooh.
You're on the hot seat.
Okay. One music. I think I would take Beyonce.
I mean, that's a safe thing.
Just because, you know, I'm stranded. I'm by myself.
Right.
Like, I will totally turn it up.
That absolutely.
There you go.
No one's gonna see you. You know.
Seriously.
Exactly.
And even if
Going
people saw, I'd still do it.
They would probably join you. I would join you.
Okay,
It's Beyonce.
One.
The
What was the other?
book.
Oh,
book.
a book. Can I do a bunch of magazines?
Why not?
There
It's
you
something
go.
to read, right? Take the time.
Okay, and one luxury. Does my phone count as a luxury item? Like, am I getting Wi-Fi?
Somewhere there's like a satellite above the island, so yeah, you'll get Wi-Fi.
Or, you know, it will. If I'm deserted, luxury will be food.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
Pizza.
Pizza. I'm
we
with
know
you.
we know
Pizza.
you
I'm with
love
you.
pizza. Let me tell you something. I had like last week because I was celebrating my birthday. Me and my coworkers got together. We played beer pong, and I had legit 5 or 6 slices of pizza. I'm not proud of it, but it was super good. I forgot the place. I should shout it out, but they're not paying us to shout it out. So I
No,
won't do
they're
that.
not paying us.
But I
They're
had like
not
6
paying us.
slices. Basically, that's essentially almost the whole pie, right?
You had a pie by yourself.
Well,
It
I
was
mean,
your
that's
birthday.
a Friday night to me.
there you go. There you go. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
It's your birthday, so I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
So
not your birthday anymore, so maybe I can say something. But I'm not, we got to guess. We're not going to do that.
wow, this is what I'm. I warned you. He's rude. This
Hey.
is what I deal with.
I try to defend myself.
I love the banter.
There you go.
Like, it works.
It works apparently, Blue. So we're doing something right.
I
I don't really
hope
care
so.
for you, but you know, what would
Clearly.
you bring? Do you have an idea what you would bring?
Oh, music. I would bring Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
I would go with Jay-Z. That's my favorite rapper.
That's your favorite guy. Okay.
Yeah. One book. I would bring Catching Fire series.
Okay.
The whole Mockingjay series. I like
Okay.
that series right there.
And luxury item?
My laptop.
Oh, I know you're.
I
You're
love
a
my
laptop.
laptop.
Man. Okay.
I love my laptop.
I dig it, sir. I dig it.
What about you?
I bring my cell phone. I'm always texting. I'm always on Instagram, social media. Unfortunately, but I'm always on it. So I definitely bring my cell phone as a luxury item. I haven't read too many books lately, but I know last year I've read. I don't know if you guys heard of The Secret. You heard of
I've
The Secret?
heard about it.
It's basically is about bringing like positive energy, and attracting the law of attraction, basically.
Right.
So whatever you put out, the universe basically it brings it back. And if I'm on a deserted island, I feel like I'll be stressing out.
Yeah, can I change my answer? I'm not bringing those magazines. I'm bringing your book.
There you go. So see, I would bring that just to practice some type of positivity on a deserted island. And one piece of music. I'm feeling Cardi B right now. So like I said, I gotta get turned up with Ashlee. So we'll have a little party with
Cardi B.
we can
Beyonce.
right.
We got Jay-Z. We got the On the Run tour. With
All right,
Cardi
there
B.
you go.
There you go.
Paul Heyman, Guy Girl, on the run
Exactly.
tour.
There
Exactly.
you go. And I'm like you're like, I guess, opening act for you guys type thing. And you guys are the main. Okay, see? It
See?
works. So maybe we can be on
I'm
the dirt
surprised
island.
you took the back seat on this one.
What does that mean?
You know what I mean.
And normally I like to be.
Yeah.
The show says Jenna first. So.
See what I mean?
Just saying. Maybe we can have just Jenna and Ashlee. You think? I would. I'm sorry. I mean, oh, wow. Okay, I got all of that. Okay, no, it's cool. No biggie.
Later, Blue.
Bye, Blue. All right, so let's get into the interview. So I guess I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
I'll start it off. So, Ashlee, who is Ashlee White? Tell us. Explain to us.
So, you cannot describe me in one or two words. I'm definitely someone who is comfortable connecting with anyone. I am a 3-time stroke survivor
Wow.
and a lupus fighter, so I have made a commitment to myself and the community to share my story to inspire and help others.
That's
Right.
super cool.
I'm also fun, loving,
Obviously. We're replacing Blue, so obviously.
a WWE Paul Heyman girl.
I know this man appreciates that.
Yep.
I also am a stiletto lover.
Nice. There you go.
Stiletto lover, and just, I have a lot to say, and I'm not afraid of it.
There you go.
So, but definitely personable, loves people, like thrive.
You know what's funny? I was on Instagram the other day, and I was just a lot of people were in my DMs, and one of the guys I was talking to, he runs the Nerds Clothing.
Love him.
Yeah, he told me, I was explaining to him that we were gonna have you on, and he was like, "Yeah, she's super cool. That's the homie." And everything, that you're super cool and chill. So that made me even more excited because you know how it's
yeah.
you might be nervous
Right.
meeting someone for the first time, but he was like, yeah, no, she's super cool and personable. So there you go.
Yeah, he's so super cool.
He
So
is.
I'm like so excited that he thought so too.
There you go. See.
Yeah.
So with that said, you said about lupus and everything. Do you feel that there's a big awareness when it comes to it?
I don't. And the reason is because it's such a mystery.
Yeah.
You know, it's a mystery to the doctors. It's a mystery to the patients and the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think one thing that really contributes to it is because you don't look sick. Like, lupus doesn't
Right.
have a face.
Right.
Unless you have, like, a rash or something like a lupus rash.
Like,
but it doesn't...
seal, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't understand when you don't look sick. They don't understand that your body is basically attacking itself.
Wow.
So, you know, they don't see that internal pain.
Yeah.
So it's really, you know, but I mean, I make it my duty to educate people.
Right.
I'm on the Young Leaders Board for the Lupus Research Alliance.
That's
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. So not only is it like a small community family of other people that are touched by lupus or
Right.
have loved ones that are, we also raise awareness, raise funds. So it's really it's a support group. It's really, really
Absolutely.
positive.
And I think it's cool that, you have a support group. You're not alone.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, with lupus, you're right, it is such a mystery, because one of my favorite singers growing up, like back in the 90s, I was still huge Toni Braxton fan, and I know she's a big advocate for lupus. I know there's other celebrities like Nick Cannon who suffers from it, and Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez came out, which was really great for us lupus fighters, because somebody was able to take it to the next level, to bring awareness to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's why when you said it's good for support, that you don't feel alone, that's a lot what I do with my social media.
Right.
I make it my point to, I really want people to feel comfortable with my account, to find positivity, and to know, I go through these things too. You're never alone. I talk about my issues.
Right.
So people don't feel alone. I think I felt alone with lupus, with other things, and that's the worst feeling.
I can imagine, absolutely.
So outside of your friends and family, how else to keep you positive during your battle? What are some things that you love to do to keep your mind focused and keep your energy high?
WWE, man.
There you go.
I
go.
mean,
That's it.
when I watch WWE, there's no sickness. I can always, find something that grasps my attention. I get so into the character, so into their gimmicks, involved in their storylines, and also the energy of the crowd.
Absolutely.
The loyalty to WWE.
Exactly.
And one thing, when I first started watching, was after my third stroke.
Oh, wow.
So that was August 2013. It was on TV. My father and my nephew were watching it. I have to credit them, So it was just it was on TV. So I went down, I watched it, and it was just wow. I couldn't believe. But to see the crowd's energy, and to see that everyone knew the entrance music, everyone knew the chants, everyone just was in total awe.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone, sometimes they knew the secrets to it, the in and outs.
Right.
They were just true fans.
Right.
I wanted to get into it, and
Nice.
boy, did I get into it.
There you go.
I
hear you. I mean, I think it's kind of, for you, what did you, when you got into wrestling, it's something that just kind of captivates you, right?
Right. I've always said, my first memory of wrestling was Undertaker's debut at Survivor Series 90. I was 3 years old, and I still hold this memory in my head of him just coming out there. And it's it was a thing of fear because it's Undertaker.
Yeah.
But then it introduced me to all the other characters that were in the match. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes was in the match. Bret Hart.
Wow.
There's so many other characters. So it's always that one piece that just drags you in.
Yeah.
And then once you get dragged in, you're stuck.
Absolutely. You know what? That's so special that you remember that. You said 3 years old.
3 years old.
That's so special.
Yeah.
I wish I remember. I grew up in Boston, around Boston.
Okay.
And I didn't move to Long Island until I was 10, but my dad was a huge fan. And I he took me, I want to say in 1989 or something, to one really big event. And Hulk Hogan was there, and I don't know if he beat Ultimate Warrior or it was the other way around, or I wish so bad that I really
Actually
remembered that.
Right. And at the end of the day, it sticks with you, right?
Right.
Just a certain specific moment, it sticks with you, and years later, obviously, we can kind of recite where we were at and what happened. So I definitely think it's a cool.
I have a harder time now that I'm older, remembering where I've been and what I've seen. Sometimes Jenna was like, "Yeah, it was this match that happened," and I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
Let's go with that one, sure.
I mean, I think it's weird anyway. People that know the exact date and arena, I think. Maybe it's not weird. It's just something special if you have that type of memory. But
my nephew, he's 12. He is an encyclopedia.
There you go.
Like you can ask him anything.
And he knows.
Anything, and he just like can spit it out the top of his head. It's like,
We have to maybe get him on the show
We might have
Oh my
to
God.
correct Blue more
Yeah.
importantly, because
Yeah.
you're not all up
He
there.
could be our facts guy.
There you
yes.
go. So obviously that was what kind of connected you and made you fall in love with wrestling.
Yes.
So now I'm interested though. You're a Paul Heyman girl.
Oh, huge.
So how did that come about? What made you connect to him? And I'm a Paul Heyman girl, basically.
I mean, just his presence, the way he like walks out there. He's so confident. He commands the crowd. He literally can make me believe that this pen is the best pen in the entire
salesperson.
world.
Salesperson.
And I need 45 of these pens. Yeah, I just think, oh my God, I think he's a genius. I love the way he
That's
can
very true.
flip
Yep.
any feud, any situation to benefit
That person.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's so, it's not scripted. He's so off his, like,
Off the top.
Off the
Off
top,
the top
of his head. Yeah.
And when that couple decided to get engaged when he was talking,
Right.
I was
Yeah.
like, the nerve. And you would have thought it would have
Threw him off.
threw him off, but he just kept
Right
going.
off. Right. I remember he just went and continued.
Yeah, and I've become friends with him,
Nice.
which is so. It just makes the experience just like so much more real and awesome.
Yeah.
And he's just, he's an incredible person.
That's super cool.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
He has the best advice. I cannot say enough about him. Like, I am the biggest.
Yeah.
Like, I call myself the capital T-H-E
The
Paul Heyman girl.
There you go. But he is, right? He's a genius, like you said. He can be paired up with anybody. Remember when he was paired up with CM Punk? Technically, CM Punk didn't really need him,
He
but
didn't, but
it just
added to
elevated.
him.
Exactly.
Curtis Axel. He added to Curtis
Oh,
Axel.
Curtis Axel definitely needed him.
Definitely. What is one of your favorite moments with Paul Heyman?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. Like every
Any
single
moment.
every single moment.
Yeah.
I just, him talking about, with John Cena, Roman Reigns. I just,
Yeah.
he's
He's a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
very special
He's
in the ring.
he's a
as
personality.
person.
and I just love it. But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
Everything.
Makes sense. So with that said, we know that obviously you're a huge WWE fan, and I know you have something coming up this summer, a little podcast. You want to talk about it?
Absolutely.
There you go.
So there's been so much hard work and dedication. It's finally coming to life soon this summer.
Nice.
I'm having my own podcast.
Let the people know. There you go.
I'm having my own podcast,
There you go.
Wrestling in Heels, obviously with Ashlee White. It's definitely, I have this great vision. It's going to be, obviously, my personality, my humor. There's only one Ashlee.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah, but also, I'm going to connect. I have an unbelievable guest coming on, and I'm just going to, connect, have them open up to me so we get to the person
Yeah.
they really are.
Right.
And that's cool.
To the questions that people want to know, So
What do you think, with that said, what do you think, because we spoke about this right before the show, we started doing the show, there's so many podcasts, right? We have one, obviously, when a lot of people think wrestling isn't that big, it actually is pretty big, and you have quite a few podcasts. So what would set your podcast apart from the rest, basically?
me in general.
There you
But,
go. That's
you
it.
know, like I said, the fact that I'm connecting with them, the fact that my guests that are coming on, we have real friendships. We have real connections. It's not somebody, I'm sure there will be maybe, somebody, because I'm so open to someone, new coming on
Right.
and getting them to open up.
Right.
That's like my forte.
Right.
So that is definitely really going to set me apart. Also, I don't think there's enough women
Hello.
talking about wrestling.
Hello. There you go. We talked about that too. It's kind of like it's a all, not to throw you under the bus, but
I'm on the
kind
good
of
side.
it's like an all boys decade, right?
Absolutely.
And it's not enough of us, right? We love wrestling just as much as the guys, right? So I think that's an awesome thing, that just to have more women speak about wrestling, it's definitely a beautiful thing. I see so many, and I think we follow quite a couple of same people. I love seeing that, like the younger girls that are so passionate that even want to be wrestlers as well. You know what I mean? That makes me feel good, because growing up, back especially in the 90s, it was just, again, all boys. And if you look at the crowds, it was just teenage boys, older men, and just rabid fans. And
College kids.
exactly. And you might have seen a couple of women scattered here and there. And like for me growing up, I'm an only child, so I didn't have a guy to like a male figure in my life to like watch wrestling with.
Right.
I just happened to stumble on it and was like, okay, what is this? Right? And I just gravitated like
That's cool.
Right? Because it was just nothing I've ever seen before, right? And I didn't see too many girls or too many women just talk about it. Maybe a couple of my friends in school, but I don't think they were as passionate as I was. So again, just to see nowadays how it's so socially accepted,
Right.
that, we have women superstars that are killing it, probably popular than most men.
Yeah.
And then again, just to see all these young girls that want to follow the footsteps of a lot of these superstars, I think it's a beautiful thing. So.
Absolutely. So when I tell people
Yeah.
that I'm a huge WWE fan,
Yeah.
the look on their face is priceless. And
Right?
I live for it. Like someone is like, "Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute. I have to tell you this."
Yeah.
And then they see that I know what I'm talking about. I can talk the talk, and then
Right.
they're just super impressed.
There you go.
And I'm like, you just see my passion. I'm so passionate.
Yeah.
Because it's wrestling, I feel like, has always been there. Not always a 2013 fan, been there for me through really hard times. And what's
Right.
cool is I talk about that on my social media.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have reached out to me
Mm-hmm.
and opened up and said, wrestling has done this to me. Wrestling has helped me with my drug use. I'm off of drugs now. It gave me a reason to live. And I'm just like, wow. Like you
That's
said, like,
overwhelming.
you're not alone.
Yep,
Right.
there you go. And it's definitely a beautiful thing, definitely.
So, seeing that you just came into the scene, on the wrestling scene from 2013, who is your current favorite wrestler?
Eek. Favorite wrestler? I mean, I don't even know if I can like pinpoint, but I'm such a Roman Reigns fan. I'm such
Applaud that woman, please.
Yeah.
You can push
Applaud
the
her.
button.
Yeah.
He's not gonna push it. I'll do it.
I love Seth Rollins. Like, he is on fire.
I applaud that one.
I love Dolph Ziggler.
He's
and
he's on
getting
fire.
this great push.
Yeah.
So when I went to Raw when it was in Long Island like a couple weeks ago, and I had floor seats.
Nice.
When Dolph Ziggler, came out, I got so excited. I stood on my chair, and I'm in 6-inch stilettos.
Right.
Oh my God.
I wiped out, fell where my whole section had to pick me up.
Oh my
It
God.
was so I was okay, and it was such an awesome moment.
It's authentic.
It was just,
Sometimes it be that way.
It was such that's something I'll always remember.
Exactly.
There you go.
When you sit on the floor, sometimes people don't realize this. I'm not sure if you ever sat on the floor.
Close enough.
to it.
Yeah.
It's just such a moment when you get lost in the whole thing that's going on. I like to talk about when the first time I sat on the floor was watching Sasha versus Bailey in Brooklyn.
Oh wow! Okay.
So that
You know how I feel.
Every time I think about just being in that moment, it gets goosebumps.
Yeah.
And it's just a different feeling when you're down there and you're connecting with everybody's just into the product. So I completely understand. It could be the wrong thing. You could slip and fall. You'd be like, it was the greatest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's a memory.
yeah, so oh my God, this was so cool. So at one of the house shows in WWE, I was front row. It
Wow.
was super, super cool. I got the tickets that day, like a couple hours before.
No, nice.
Oh my God. So I want to say it was Goldust and I'm not sure. I was just so caught up in the moment, but I know it was Goldust. They were fighting, and they went into the barricade right on me. That security, like, stood up, like, try to come walking, and I'm like, I'm fine, I love it. I'm like, yes, I want more.
I want more.
And, I mean, Roman Reigns high-fived me. I was taking a picture of Seth Rollins, and he was like, I love your phone case. Like,
Oh my God.
it was so cool. Oh, so Jeff Hardy
Oh, I love Jeff.
was coming around, like, high-fiving people, and I was there with my nephew. He took off his arm sleeve, and he gave it to my nephew.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so...
And it's moments that stay with you, like, for a
Exactly.
lifetime.
Yeah, I just had so many amazing... I've been so blessed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So seeing that you're a Roman Reigns fan, do you think that his boos that he's been getting are warranted, or you think they're not needed?
No, I hate it. I get so upset. You know, I love him. And
There you go.
people are always like, how many times can I see a spear? How many times can I see a Superman punch? And I'm like, all day long.
And they're gonna. The thing is, right? Each wrestler they're gonna have their set of moves, so you're gonna see the same type of moveset. That's why I try to tell you all the time, but you don't want to hear that.
Look, I don't have a problem with Roman Reigns as
I
a
think you do.
person.
Hey,
As a person, he's
call him
I
out.
have no
Call
problem.
him out. Call him
I have-
out.
All I would like to see is for him to add a couple of more power moves to his move set, talk less, and be more dominant. That's all I ask.
But whose fault is it? Is it Roman or is it
No,
creative?
But I've said this. It's not Roman's fault. But,
Nah,
but he's the
I
person we
understand.
put in front of us, so we have to
So you
react to
gotta
that.
take it out on him.
To send
Exactly.
a message to the guys in the back, like, hey,
That
this is
they're-
not what we want.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, they do not care.
They
They
don't.
don't.
I was gonna say they don't care.
What is that saying? Like they're turning a deaf ear. Like what-
Exactly, but that's what they're doing. I don't think it's right in a sense, but listen, I'm not a big Roman Reigns fan, but I'm a fan of his.
I
Definitely.
met him. He was so cool.
They say he's super nice.
Oh my God, he was so cool. He's acknowledged me on Twitter. We had like a good conversation.
Yeah,
It was really, he was like so respectful. It
Isn't
was
it-
like
he doesn't get enough credit,
It-
unfortunately.
my sister, my younger sister, Amber, loves him. Like really
It's a
loves
smart
him.
family.
So, so I FaceTimed her.
Mm-hmm.
And she got so nervous. It was so funny. She was fixing her hair. And she was like, it was the cutest, most amazing thing ever.
I think any girl will do that.
And
Right.
then when we got home, we made her put on his vest.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know,
Right.
we have all the props.
Exactly.
And it was so funny. My mom's not a wrestling fan. My sister Amber, she says she's not, but let me tell you, when I watch it, her eyes are peeled.
It piques your interest. That's why I hate when people tell me, when I tell them, yeah, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Wait, you still watch that? That's always the reaction I get. And it's like, they'll tell me, oh, it's fake, right?
Oh, God.
So
But
are all the movies that you watch? on
Exactly.
this-
I always say, what's your favorite show or whatever. And if you tell me a show that's scripted, I'm like, okay, that's a show that's scripted. It's the same thing.
When people tell me that, I literally have no time for them. I call them out on Twitter because that's where I usually talk.
Yeah.
Right.
And people just go in for it. And they're
Yeah.
like, it's storytelling.
Right.
It's entertainment.
That's the whole point, right?
You know, I cannot when people, someone, I put up a post and some someone wrote, wrestling is fake. And I just clap back.
Yes.
And I'm not, like sometimes I'm like, but like when I clap back, it's like, whoa.
Right.
And
vicious.
yeah, and he was like, why are you being so mean? Why? And I was like, but what was the point
Yeah.
You saying
of writing?
Especially, right. It's something, and at the end of the day, it's something that we like. If you don't like it, that's fine, but don't come at me about what I enjoy, especially when you might like something that the next person might not enjoy.
Absolutely. And you know what I think I also like get so upset is because like I have such a connection. Like
Right.
this like gave me a light that I did not see.
Right. Very true, very true. So with that said, you being a woman and obviously a wrestling fan, what do you think about the women's evolution, and how far do you think are we at the peak? Is it more for it to grow? What's your take on it?
I love it. I think it is incredible that they went from divas
Yep.
to now the
Superstars.
women's. Yeah. I think they're doing great things. I think there's more. The revolution has been great. However, they are lacking storylines.
Thank you.
They're lacking storylines, and
I love her.
can we get tag teams?
Tag team titles.
Titles.
We had a debate. You know what? We had a debate about that a couple of episodes ago. I feel that they should have tag team titles, just because if you're going to constantly throw them out there every week in tag team matches, then give them something to fight about. He felt they shouldn't do it right now.
I have again, as you said, not right now. Just like you said, give them more storylines.
Yes.
And
I think that needs to be first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once
Like-
they start building that up and have purpose behind tag teams, then you expand it to the tag team titles. And it's funny because it's something I'm pretty sure she saw already. Sasha said the exact same thing.
That I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have no problems with tag team titles. Just build the characters. I'm on your side. Like, let's get some storyline going. Let's build some factions.
You're
to make
basically in
some
the
sense.
middle in
Right.
that situation. I agree. You're not going to sit there and have a title and then, okay, here's the title fight. I just think that having tag team titles will promote storylines. It just gives you something. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I say, the women's talent right now, like, I get so excited about.
I think most people do nowadays, honestly, get more excited to see the women, which is crazy. 20 years ago or something like that. If I told you I can't wait to see Trish or Lita or whoever, people would be like, well, you don't really like wrestling. You know what I mean? But I'm not ashamed to say my favorite current superstar is a woman, which is Sasha Banks. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I love it. I love that the women have, when you see them on 2 or 3 or 4 times a night on SmackDown, Raw and SmackDown, I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
you know what? Some of my other, like, women favorites are, Natty.
Natty.
I met her. She is just so
So
humble.
good.
She's so gracious.
Yeah.
She's so appreciative. Plus, she's fantastic in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
She's
She's a veteran, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I really just have a, spot in my heart for Nia Jax, what she stands for. I do not agree with body shaming. Like, I cannot. If I hear about someone body shaming me, like, I will put you on blast. Like,
Right.
that is
Right.
not okay.
It's not. It's not.
Becky Lynch. I
love
Becky
Becky.
Lynch. I love.
Jinx.
Yeah. Charlotte. I can watch Charlotte all the time. Like,
great.
it is in her blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it is
We're actually
second
gonna talk.
nature.
We're gonna actually second nature.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that a little bit later in our debate question.
Sasha and Bailey. I love them too.
Exactly.
I got to interview them, and
I
it was
saw
just-
you got to interview Sasha. How was
Yeah,
that?
Sasha and Bailey, Daniel Bryan for Ringside Fest,
Yes.
Ringside Collectibles. It
Right.
was
2016, right?
Yes, it was one of the best experiences of my life.
Nice.
I swear I felt like I could do anything. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, look what I just did. I'm running for president.
Right.
Like, I'm basically Vince McMahon.
Essentially, obviously.
They were so cool.
Right.
Bailey, we had like such a great conversation, and yes,
She's super nice.
yes, she is a good hugger.
She
I
is.
had to test it out. Sasha Banks was so cool.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was like,
He's so humble.
oh my God.
I can see it.
I wanted to sit and talk to him for like hours.
Right.
He was like, it was really cool.
So you definitely had a lot of great memories and experiences.
Oh
It's
my
super
God.
Cool.
I've been so blessed.
Absolutely. Just in everything, right?
Yeah. And I hope to do more with Ringside Collectibles in their interview, backstage interviews.
Especially with your
because-
podcast coming up, it definitely opens up that door for you.
Yeah, because I really...
And you're not a stranger to television, what have you. You're on a reality TV show.
Absolutely. And what's really cool is a lot of these wrestlers follow me.
Nice.
So it's super, super cool.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know?
People you idolize and they decided.
And they, you know what? Bray Wyatt just started following me, and I was like,
oh, that's awesome.
I hear he's so nice and humble.
I was just like, wow, like, I must be doing something right. When you like feel like you are in the right place,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
doing the right thing.
Right.
It's just, I'm so grateful for all these.
That's
so
awesome.
So you know what? When I meet certain people and I'm like, and I always have to say my Twitter handle or something.
Yeah.
It's just so embarrassing. I'm like, I'm Ashlee White,
Yeah.
23, and they're like, oh my God.
Right. It's
so
such a cool feeling just to be able to connect. Just
that's
social media, the way it's taken off, and just to connect with people, it's just, and then people know you from, oh, you're this person, and then it's a super cool feeling.
absolutely. I came from not knowing the chants and stuff to people coming up and recognize me
Yeah.
at SummerSlam, at
Yeah.
different events. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I appreciate it so much. Like, not for 1 minute do I take it.
For granted.
Oh, my God, no.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's the coolest. It will
It is.
never not be so cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
right?
I have to ask now.
Yeah.
What does the 23 stands for in Ashlee White 23?
Ooh, I love it. My birthday. And it's coming
There you
up July 23rd.
July, baby.
Yes.
And
Right.
also for our listeners, can we set the record straight for our listeners now that you're here? How is Sasha Banks in person?
Oh, I loved her. She was.
There you go.
Yeah, I loved her. She was so cool. Somebody made her a cake of her face, and she was just like, this is the coolest thing. She didn't take it for granted. She wasn't like, hey. She really was like, this is cool. We had a great conversation, and it was funny because she was in these, like, boots, and I'm 4'9", and she was like, oh, my God, should I take them off? Like, what do I do? And I'm like, no, you be you.
Right.
And we
Yeah.
had a really great conversation. She was just like, she felt comfortable. I felt comfortable. And I met her a bunch of other times. And
Right.
it's really cool when you have interviewed a wrestler or have met them and then you meet them again and they remember you.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I appreciate that.
You know how I already feel.
Yeah.
I had the best birthday gift on my birthday.
What was it?
So, like you said, when you meet someone so many times, right? Especially your favorite superstar, which she's my favorite superstar. I've gone to a bunch of just meet and greets, and she's shown me love on just social media. And just randomly, everybody's wishing me a happy birthday last Monday. And I step away from my phone for whatever reason. I come back and I see Sasha Banks, happy birthday, love. And no one tweeted her to tell her, hey, happy birthday or whatever. It was just super random. So we're all just figured, like me and my friends are like, wait, how did she know that or whatever? So when your favorite superstar kind of just shouts you out like that, and it's an amazing feeling. At 28, like I tell you, it makes you feel like I'm like 10 years old or something like that. I can't even lie. I can't act cool.
Absolutely.
It's a great feeling. So
It is. And I'm like really excited for you.
Yeah.
Like that is so, those are moments that like,
I will never forget.
that's so,
Never
did you
forget.
screenshot it?
Oh, of course. I mean, it
She
was like
sent it to me.
I sent it to them. I was
You
like,
should.
She's like, did you do this? I'm like,
I was like, bro, am I getting like, because a lot of us like kind of might, a lot of them might fool around and might pretend, like change their at name and their picture just to pretend to play a joke, and I'm like, wait, But then I see the blue check, and I was like, oh, okay, wait, no, this is her.
Yeah.
So
That's like something I really love to hear.
yeah. So that was definitely, if anything else didn't happen on my birthday, that made my day. I don't want to sound cheesy, but that was the situation.
Absolutely, you
yeah.
feel like
$1 million.
like not validated, because people should always feel validated. Like nobody should
have to do
should
that.
have to.
Yeah.
Yes, nobody should ever have to do that. Like you are enough.
Yeah.
But it makes you just. I don't know. It can, like, just that thing could brighten.
They don't even know, they don't even realize
It
the
makes you feel
impact.
innocent again.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It really, and so many times, unfortunately, people have bad experiences
Right.
meeting the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that plays off with who you can connect with. Like,
Absolutely.
that's happened to me.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
met Bobby Roode, and he wanted nothing to do with us, but like not just us personally, like really anyone.
Interesting.
And my feeling is, if you're at a meet and greet,
Right.
and people are waiting online, people are coming to see you. More importantly, people are spending their hard working money
to see you.
to get a picture, to get this. People are so excited, and then you can't show love back.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate.
So with me, I can't connect to him now. And
Well, definitely, that's something. It's funny that you say that. We're going to talk about it a little bit later with Hot Topics, but
I just can't, I can't connect. I can't get into it, because I'm like,
yeah.
and
And it's
even though
unfortunate.
it's maybe a little selfish or anything, but like,
That's how you
that's
feel.
my personal experience. And then I hear people who have had great experiences with him, and I'm like, that's great.
That's great.
Like-
Yeah. You're not going to discredit that.
Absolutely, just because,
You didn't have the best experience.
yeah, it doesn't mean that that's really who he is. It was just that's how he was to me, and how I felt, and now how I perceive it.
Absolutely, and you're not wrong. But yeah, so I think it's kind of time to get into.
Some Extreme Rules predictions.
So as we know, right, the pay-per-view is this Sunday, right?
Right.
Yes.
So we're gonna go over all the matches. Some of them will just who you think is gonna win, and then some of them will get in a little deeper
Deeper
in
into
there.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, wanna start it off?
Yeah, first off, it's going to be on the kickoff show, which is kind of surprising to me. Not too much surprising, but it's a refreshing thing to do with Sanity versus New Day in a tables match.
What do you think about that? Do you have a?
I mean, I'm not liking the direction of the New Day. How
Yeah.
far, like,
They're pulling away from the titles.
I think it's going to be a great match. I think that this is so great for Sanity.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I do believe that Sanity is going to pick up the win.
Okay, there we go. What do you think?
I think the same way. I think it's about time. They haven't won anything yet on the main
No.
roster. I think this is when Nikki Cross makes her appearance
Interesting.
and help them out,
Okay.
and they get the W.
I agree. I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. Sanity hasn't really been picking up wins, so I'm hoping they pick up the win. It's needed, and I think that's actually pretty would be great to see Nikki get called up and interfere some way. So I think we're all in agreement. Sanity.
Yes.
Sanity.
All right. So now we have the Raw Tag Team Championship match: Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the B Team,
The leaders of world.
the leaders of world. Who do you have for this match?
Well, first of all, like, the B team doing their impression
Yeah, it's
is
hilarious.
so
On
on
point.
point, and
On
it's
point.
so funny. However, I'm not ready, and I don't know if I'll ever be ready for the B team winning.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not. It doesn't come off legitimate
it
to me.
doesn't. It doesn't come off authentic. Like, no.
They're fu-
But I do think the deleters
Of
of
world.
world are going to pick up the win.
I second
agree.
that.
I agree.
I mean, like,
third
how
that.
could they not? Like,
Yeah, I think this should set up the AOP match for them.
I think it just in general. I just think the tag team division is super weak right now on Raw.
Yeah.
And by having the B team as champions, and I don't think Bray and Matt are doing that much of a good job together, or at least the storylines that they're giving them. I don't think the B team is the team to carry and bring the tag team division to where it needs to be. So I'm going to go with the same thing with you guys, Matt and Bray.
They need to let Bray be Bray. Right now, he looks like a
Yeah.
follower, and it kind of holds him back.
Yeah.
He has to be like when he was dominant on Monday. It was him being aggressive, and Matt followed.
Yeah. I mean, he was dominant, but how many opportunities was he actually getting? So,
Right.
I mean, we'll see. After that, we also have SmackDown's Women's Championship. The stipulation for this match, this is between Carmella and Asuka. The stipulation between...
I thought I heard a bug. I was like,
It was probably James Ellsworth. That's the stipulation. Can I get the drum thing?
I don't think we have a drum thing.
Get out of here then. Thank you, Ashley.
There you go.
I said we're kicking Blue out. Anyway,
I asked what you wanted. You didn't put it on your list.
Anyway, so the stipulation for that is James Ellsworth suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Who do you have winning for that?
okay, he's definitely gonna find a way to cheat.
Yeah.
That's their
MO,
gimmick.
right?
Yeah. I think Asuka is gonna win by DQ,
Mm-hmm.
but not leave with the
title. Yeah.
Not leave with the titles. Then it gives Carmella the opportunity,
Right.
the chance again to be Melee's
There
money.
you go.
I agree. I think Asuka's gonna win with a DQ.
Okay, I feel like we agreeing on everything. So I kind of want to choose something like say just Carmella's just gonna kind of win some way somehow, but it makes sense because we spoke about this again earlier, just how they're booking Asuka. It's just super. It's weird.
It's so weird. Why did they end her streak?
Why did they end their
Exactly.
streak? Her streak. It's just the thing is I love Carmella. I love what she's doing with her character. Like I love character development. So I like when you come because I didn't necessarily care for her when she was in NXT or when she first came up, but she's grown into her own. So I'm okay with her being champion, but at the same time, it's just like, what are you doing with Asuka? You know?
If that's the case, you might as well just let Asuka win the title.
But
yeah.
I mean, Carmella, oh my God, she's gotten so good on the
She
mic
has.
that
Yeah.
I swear, I think she's gotten lessons from Paul Heyman.
or something. And it's a beautiful thing to see just when someone comes into their own and just can hone into their skills. That's what you want to see. You want to see growth. So I enjoy her as a champion. I enjoy her reign. It's just, again, unfortunate what they're doing with Asuka, but something tells me Carmella's going to stay with the title.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to win between Finn Balor and Baron Corbin?
I think Baron Corbin. I think that this is the push he needs.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I miss the lone wolf.
Really?
gimmick.
Oh, wow.
I do. I was such a
Really?
fan.
Interesting.
You know what?
You're not a fan of Constable Baron Corbin?
You know what? This was needed.
Yes.
This change for his career.
Right.
Yes.
But you know what? I just connected with the lone wolf because that's what he was, and we just had this connection that he won the Golden Gloves, and my grandpa actually won them in the 30s.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so it kind of was like
Right.
You get him.
You get him.
I just I got him. I loved the long hair. I loved all of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's your pick, basically.
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
I want to go with Finn Balor because I feel like Finn Balor needs a win at this point.
Absolutely.
He needs
What
it.
happened to the demon? Demon Finn Balor,
The last time we seen a demon was when he faced AJ Styles.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's almost been a year.
it is, and you know what? When he didn't show up at WrestleMania,
Right.
Yeah.
That would have been a perfect time for him.
perfect
to
time. I
bring
was
him
just
out.
like,
I think everyone thought that was going to be the case, and then they went another direction. But I agree. I think Finn needs it, but I'm going to go with Baron actually winning. So yeah.
Jenna
All
and
right.
Ashley.
There you go.
Leave me in the corner.
That's it. That's fine. No
like
problem.
we said, bye, Blue.
Bye, Blue.
Oh,
We
but
don't
that's
have
gonna-
a problem with
That's
it.
going to be the new thing for this whole show.
No.
Bye, Blue.
Bye. Hashtag bye, Blue.
Don't start this again.
What's that from old school?
Bye, Felicia.
No, old school. My boy Blue.
Yeah.
So after that, we have.
So I know you've seen that Team Hell No returned again.
Yes.
They come back. They're gonna face the Bludgeon Brothers for the tag team titles. Who do you think is gonna win?
The Bludgeon Brothers have literally tore through the tag team division. That I think this is what they need.
Okay.
And Team Hell No is gonna take the win.
Okay.
Oh.
But I also think this is a really good way for a lead-in to Daniel Bryan and The Miz.
I mean, we're all calling for that. That's the match that I think we're all waiting for, but
I feel like they're gonna drag it to WrestleMania, if possible.
You know what? I kind of agree with you.
It's okay. Don't be shy. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. You know, I don't agree with him most of the time, so.
No, I kind of agree with you.
You agree with me?
Yeah,
see?
that we're not going to get it so soon.
That's again, we'll get into this in hot topics. Depends what happens, but I feel like they're trying to lead that for WrestleMania. Like
Yeah.
they're slow
That's
burning
really
it.
big.
So
who do you think?
I still think that Team Hell No will win this. I don't know. Yeah, give it to them because they just got new merch. They're not breaking up anytime soon.
No.
So I'll go with Team Hell No.
I think the Bludgeon Brothers are, for some reason, going to still stay with the titles, only just because, again, we're going to talk about this later in Hot Topics. There's uncertainty with Daniel Bryan, so I don't know what's the direction with that. And then plus Kane or Glenn Jacobs is trying to be a mayor. You know what I mean?
He's
So,
Yeah.
catching, and
I think
and he's catching flack from his his opposer.
so
Wow.
I just don't see where they're going with that.
Now, I just want to, a little talk about how good does Luke Harper look?
Yeah.
Like, I never thought
Yeah.
I would be asking for his diet plan and his exercise
Yeah.
routine
Yeah.
because I'm just like,
I mean,
where did you come from? Like, where, what, when, how, and why?
Right.
and can you give the details, please?
Yes.
So we have a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship with both of your guys.
Both of my guys and I couldn't be more pumped. Like,
Yes.
they have such good chemistry.
Mhm.
This is, such a good match for them. You know, Dolph will show what he's got.
To show
You know,
off.
he will show off.
He steals
They
the show.
push each other, to beyond limit.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it, and I think Dolph Ziggler.
And plus he has Drew McIntyre in his corner, so
Yeah, surprisingly,
Yeah.
I really thought
that
he was going to be banned.
I thought so too, but it's Extreme Rules, so it's kind
gonna
of
be
makes it
interesting.
extreme, right?
You're
if you have
right.
someone, you know what I mean, there.
Maybe-
At least I hope.
Maybe this is where we seen Dean come back.
A lot of people been think.
I got you.
I've been waiting.
I think everyone has, but the thing is, I want to see Dean come back as a heel,
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna cost Seth the title
and then a feud between Dean and Seth.
with Roman trying to play peacemaker.
Wow.
Maybe not Roman. Just keep it between Dean and Seth. I don't know.
Oh my God, this is so good.
Yes. See?
This is so good because you know what I think Extreme Rules needs?
What?
A lot, surprises.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it needs a surprise match. I think
Extreme. It needs to be
I
extreme.
think
It needs to be more.
called up maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely want these big unexpected twists.
Right.
You know, some people are saying maybe Brock is gonna come, this is the time to have an extreme, and I'm just like, no.
Nah.
Braun will not be in the building.
Exactly. But yeah, who are you going with for the match?
Ziggler.
Ziggler.
Yeah.
Ziggler.
There we go.
Okay.
So also we have a match that should have happened on SmackDown, but due to injury from a police dog, we didn't get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title.
I can watch Jeff Hardy all the time.
Yeah.
His Swanton Bomb, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just so, every time I say it, it just doesn't sound right.
But that's
just
what it is.
It's just beautiful.
It's like
Yes.
it's poetic.
It's just so much.
Poetry in motion.
Poetry.
It's just
emotion.
so much goodness to it, and I've seen it in person, and I'm just like, do not try this at home, kids.
Aren't you in awe when just to see how these wrestlers move, how their bodies I can't even do a proper cartwheel, so
No.
I can only imagine just
Oh, can we get a video of you doing the cartwheel?
no.
Oh man.
But
So I think Nakamura.
he's taking it.
I mean, come on, it's about time, right?
I agree.
But I do think we will see this rivalry
Continue.
more. It's going to continue. There's
Okay.
a lot more there.
Okay, so you have Shinsuke. Who do you have?
Shinsuke.
I'm gonna go with Shinsuke. Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm like, there we go.
Clean sweep for Shinsuke.
There you go. So on the women's side for Raw, we have an Extreme Rules match between the current champion Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Who do we have?
What was that? What did you just do there?
Alexa Bliss. What do you mean?
Okay. I didn't see the hand movement. I just saw you move.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
See how she treats me? I'm trying to...
We have a show. We have a show.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, but I kind of love it.
I mean, she loves it.
I kind of really love this. That I need to put you two in my pocket and have anytime I need some comedy, just
There you go. That's what we're here for.
That's
Comedy
what we're here
relief.
for.
There you go.
We're always on your phone. Just check us out on the
That's
Next
it.
Tag Show podcast.
That's it. Who do we have? In regards to who do you think? It's an
Alexa
extreme.
Bliss.
You have Alexa Bliss. It's an extreme match, so that means supposedly they're gonna use weapons
And Ronda Rousey sitting ringside.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be
interesting.
But definitely Alexa Bliss and that kendo stick on Raw.
Yeah.
I was like, R.I.P. kendo stick.
Right.
And I hope Tommy Dreamer was not watching that. He definitely
would feel some type of way about that.
He definitely would.
What do you think?
I want to see Nia win this.
I don't see Nia.
But only because I feel like Ronda's going to be there to even the score in case of Mickie James jumping in. That's why they're pushing her on the side. Or even Ronda might cost Nia the match.
Yeah, it might be. But the thing is, I feel like at this point they're setting up
Alexa versus Ronda
at SummerSlam, so I don't see Nia winning. And the funny thing is, earlier you had mentioned about you're not for, I think we're all not for body shaming, right? I just find it weird that, we had bully and then the person who's being bullied, and then they overcome the bullying, but then the bully wins the championship again. So I find it weird that they went with that approach. That giving Alexa the title back, but I think Nia wasn't a strong champion, so I just feel like it was something that they kind of had to do, I guess, with Alexa, give her the belt to kind of give a quote-unquote money match for SummerSlam. I don't see Nia winning, to be honest with you.
I don't.
I think the experiment is kind of over.
I don't. You know what? The whole story of body shaming and everything, was really hard for me to watch. I've been body shamed,
Right.
all my life, and even when I was so skinny, somebody had something to say about it, whether it was girls or boys. When I was on Bravo, I was little.
Yeah.
I was and I used to get all the time people sending me diet pills, messages and everything, and it's taken a while, for me to be on this path of self-love.
Right.
And really accepting, I recently gained weight. I'm under so much stress, and, that's kind of what I do,
takes a toll on you. Right.
So I hear stress, and the first thing I'm like, where's snacks?
Right.
Yeah.
So rather than beating myself up, I'm like, this is who I am.
And accepting
I
it.
can lose the weight when I'm ready.
Yep.
But my weight is, if I was skinny or not, does not define me. It doesn't define me. It doesn't even make the person that I am.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it was so hard to watch. It's kind of,
It resonated with you.
it kind of brought me back to old times that I worked so hard to get over. And that's when I said before, when I see people body shaming, I go hard.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you need to be called out.
Absolutely.
People have to know what you're really about. And I'm telling you, hard such as, like if depending on what people are saying, like calling their employee, like, and saying this is the person who represents you.
Right.
And that might sound extreme, but
it's not okay.
It's not okay. And what are you doing to the other person?
Right.
There
should be some type of
I just think people should know who you really are.
Yeah.
If that's going to come out of your mouth,
then people should know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want somebody working for me that goes on and trolls on
right.
Instagram and says all these things.
Nasty things. And unfortunately, that's kind of how, with social media, how it is, which isn't right, but it's kind of the way of the world right now. I find that interesting, though, especially with you bringing all that up, that the WWE decided to take that direction. Like, okay, again, Nia overcame all of that just to give it back to Alexa. Like, I understand maybe they felt that maybe she's the stronger candidate to hold the title. But still, it just, what does that teach us? That body shaming is actually okay, and then the bully eventually is going to overcome that. So it's a little weird.
But one really big thing I just saw today is WWE Shop came out with curvy.
I thought that was a very very smart move.
Because we've received messages on Twitter with a guy that says he loves the stuff from WWE Shop, but it doesn't fit him. And it doesn't.
Like, all shirts doesn't come in a specific size
for him.
So
it hit us too. Like, I guess WWE Shop's seen it, not that, but just aware
that there's people of different shapes and sizes, which I think is definitely a beautiful thing. So I guess they're acknowledging stuff like that.
I know, like going a little off topic, but like with certain designers and fashion, when they don't offer that option, I get bored and I get like not weirded out, but like, what year are they living?
Yeah,
it's not realistic.
And I understand if that's not your customer. However, there are some Instagram pages where people look up to and all they put is one type. And it's like, say that you wore that designer.
Right.
It almost makes you feel like you'll never be featured on that. Like, you don't.
Exactly.
So.
And that's the beauty and the curse with social media. Like, it gives you the opportunity to voice your opinion and say, hey, listen, I like your clothing too, but represent me. Whether it's my, ethnicity, my gender, my body type, represent everyone. But at the same time, you have your trolls and what have you. So, unfortunately, I wish there was some type of balance. But
I know, but also the positives. Sasha Banks tweeted you. Like.
So you know what I mean. So social media, like I said, it's a beauty and a curse type thing.
Yeah, gift and a curse.
So we have your guy AJ Styles.
The phenomenal one. AJ Styles versus Rusev.
Rusev Day. On Rusev Day, right?
Too sweet. There you go.
Too sweet, me. Boom. On Rusev Day, right?
On Rusev Day.
For the WWE Championship. There isn't a stipulation or anything for that, right?
No. Nothing, yeah.
So who do we have? Who do you think?
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
Yeah, we don't even have to go too deep into that. That's
AJ.
it.
I'm glad that Rusev finally got his title shot, but it's just the wrong
Styles.
time right now.
So now after that, we have hashtag after that, because apparently I always say that.
That's her favorite quote.
Apparently. A steel cage match between Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. Who do we have?
First of all, I love the build-up of this.
This is
like,
hilarious.
I am so invested.
This is the greatest.
I'm really invested in it.
Braun.
I'm kind of like, you know what? Like, this is definitely going to be a rivalry that's...
Yeah, you already saw that from jump.
And I kind of think, like, I don't want to see Braun lose, but I kind of feel like Kevin Owens is going to pick it up.
Yeah.
But not hold it for that long. But I really do think that.
I think Kevin Owens needs it.
Yeah.
And it could be a setup for Kevin Owens versus Braun at SummerSlam with something spectacular for them.
Yeah.
And then it gives a reason for Braun to be there and then hopefully cash in.
I can see Kevin winning too. I agree. I think he needs it. Braun, if he loses, I don't think that hurts him.
No.
He's monster in the bank right now,
Right.
right? Mr.
I
Monster in
know.
the bank. So
You know, it'd be great if he threw Kevin Owens through the cage and
Oh
onto the
my
floor.
God, I can totally
I
see
could
that
see that.
happening.
I think the wheels are turning for creative right now. They
Yeah,
probably
don't
put
steal
that-
my idea. I need
You
cut
need
me
some credit for
I
that.
need to cut a piece. 2%. It's fine.
So we have the main event, the supposed main event. Your guy Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. I think this is going to be a boring match, to be honest with you. I'm not happy that this is.
What?
I like. Listen, me and you. I love Roman. I don't think it's not Roman. Bobby Lashley hasn't, since he's come back to the WWE, he's not captivating. I don't think anyone at this point. We already know the situation. Roman is constantly placed into the main event, and a lot of us, not me, but most people are, most people are turned off again. For what reason? A regular match that isn't a stipulation at Extreme Rules has to be the main event. You know
Over
what I
the
mean?
WWE title.
Over the WWE title, over, you know what I mean, or even the women's title. I'm not saying that they'll main event, but just what is the importance of this? This hasn't even been built up to that it needs to be the main event. I don't think Bobby Lashley is connecting. Fans are rejecting Roman every week. It's just you're giving basically the fans something more to boo about, or not even tune in. So
I cannot agree more. I wish I knew more about Bobby Lashley. Like, when he came back, I feel like there was no talk
right.
of anything.
And if you didn't watch him
Before.
Yeah. It's like,
what? So okay, why am I supposed to be excited? Bobby Lashley is back. Yeah, he was in MMA and all that.
Right.
You know who Bobby Lashley is, right? Okay. See, no one knows who
Oh,
Bobby
wow.
Lashley is. He was in UFC.
He had a great record in UFC.
yeah.
See, no one knows who Bobby Lashley is, especially if you're young or you just started tuning in, and it's what's the purpose of this match? You know,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean. So if I have to pick though, I'm gonna go with Roman. Will probably win. There's rumors that Bobby is supposed to possibly face Brock at SummerSlam. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going with Roman Reigns.
what I'm trying to, hold on. Okay, so my thing is, like you said, there was no real build-up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so hard to see these two guys, like, hating each other, having
what?
so much anger, having to need the
Yeah.
roster coming out and separating them. It's just, I'm torn because I do think they're going to give it to Bobby Lashley. Not happy about that.
Obviously.
I'm Roman, but something
Tells you he's gonna go with Bobby.
yeah. I'm sorry, Roman.
What do you think, Blue?
I agree. They're gonna
They're
give
gonna
it to Bobby.
And well, you're a happy camper. You guys agree on that. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I think they're gonna give it to Bobby Lashley, like it's been spoken. I think he's the next one up to go against Brock. I know there has been rumors about Brock being versus Reigns again, but I think right now is Bobby's turn. And just the way they started off Raw, like we spoke about earlier, the way they started off Raw, and just seeing that physicality between the two, I feel like could transition into a match that they're gonna have, kind of like how Roman and Braun used to have, like so physical. And I think that's what Bobby needs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see. But that's our predictions for Extreme Rules. So definitely next week, we'll get probably some callers listen, and get their opinion on how the pay-per-view went. So,
and I feel like we agreed on a lot in terms of who's gonna win, and that bothers me because it just shows how predictable that the WWE has become. And I just wish they would just
step out the box just a little bit, be a little bit more creative.
Exactly.
If that's the name of the
and watch this, we're all wrong.
Right.
Well, listen, hey, then I'm for it. It gives you something.
Of course.
But let's get into hot topics. We have a lot, so we should probably breeze through quite a few of them.
Right.
First one we have has been reported by PW Insider that TLC, that's supposed to actually be October 21st at the TD Garden in Boston, apparently during this past Monday show, there wasn't a promo code, like a special pre-sale code for TLC. Normally, when you go to a show, they'll have a code for that. They didn't have it. They actually advertised a super show instead, like a house show.
Right.
So there's rumors basically that they nixed TLC, or maybe possibly putting it at another later date, just because October 6th they're having a pay-per-view, a really big one in Australia. What do you guys think about them nixing TLC if they actually do it? You don't really have an opinion about it?
No, I think it's interesting. It kind of makes me go back to WrestleMania, and then they had the greatest Royal Rumble, which was, I mean, I really think it was longer than WrestleMania.
I agree.
Yeah.
I had texted him. I said, this is long. I fell asleep at one point, woke up, it was still going on.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. I feel it's definitely the same scenario.
Yeah, it's definitely the same scenario. I feel like they're trying to get into the international market, so they probably will. I don't think they're gonna. I could see them nixing TLC altogether, just because it's not a big draw pay-per-view for them.
Unfortunately, because
so-
it could be.
Right. So if it was done right, it could have been, but they don't use it like how they used to anymore. So they're focusing more on Australia, where they think more money's coming in from TLC, and probably cut that out.
Speaking of WrestleMania, you had read something yesterday in regards to.
Right. So now they're thinking about making WrestleMania 2 days, one in America and one in outside of the country.
Wow. Like, so they're going to go from, hopefully it's Jersey.
Yeah.
You know? Like, right after that, they're going to fly.
Yeah.
And then,
no,
or is there going to be a day in between?
No,
Like,
it's supposed to be back-to-back days. I think they're supposed to start this in 2020. They're thinking about doing Saturday, Sunday kind of
Okay.
situation, but that would just split the roster.
Okay, yeah.
So
I was
now
going to say.
they'll have 2 different WrestleManias.
I
going
don't
on.
like that idea.
I don't get it.
It takes away from what the aura that's WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, who's gonna be on the card? Who's gonna perform?
Right.
And now it just waters it down. It's no.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to think too much international and starting to forget their core base a bit,
Yeah.
and it's gonna hurt in the long run. Not gonna hurt, but it's gonna be.
It might.
no,
It might.
It's gonna be hurt enough for them to catch their attention and fix it before it gets too bad.
I
It's
don't
not gonna hurt
know.
their pockets.
I don't. It won't hurt the. Yeah, it won't hurt
That's
the
what I'm saying. Like, they're
pockets.
gonna hurt the pockets, but
but-
they're gonna catch it before it's like, all right, we're kind of slacking on this side, so we need to fix this before anything else.
Yeah. So speaking of rosters,
Yeah, currently Ruby Riott and
Fandango,
Fandango are
or
injured.
Fandango,
Ruby Riott shouldn't be too bad. Should be back
she
in
had
a
an
couple of
MCL
weeks.
sprain.
Whereas Fandango is supposed to be out about 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a great time for Tyler Breeze to step out and do his own thing a bit. Because honestly, he can really work. He's pretty good on the microphone. I just think that they put him in the wrong positions. So this is a great opportunity for him, just like they did with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy stepped out from when Jeff Hardy was hurt.
True.
Yeah.
So
And when Enzo was hurt,
right.
Big Cass.
He
Stepped
had
out.
that. Well, vice versa, actually. When Big Cass was injured.
No, the first time. Remember when
He got a concussion.
When he got a
Ah,
concussion.
yes, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
See?
And
There you
then and Big Cass had that great match in the main event, and that's why people was looking at him like, oh,
He might be legitimate.
he might be
Oh,
doing something.
I guess not.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen. There you go. But yeah, and then with Ruby Riott, hopefully, notice they keep pushing Liv Morgan slightly.
Right.
I like Liv. A lot of people feel that Ruby is needed to help the Riot Squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But
I was gonna say that.
yeah,
Liv definitely got better in the ring.
I think so. I like Liv. I like her personality. I think there's definitely room for her to grow. I don't know about Sarah, but whatever. That's another subject for another day. What do we have next?
Right now, we're saying there's a report that Andrade Almas
You keep
Almas.
on that man, Andre.
Andrade
What
Almas.
is? Tell the
Cien.
viewers what that man's name is.
Andrade
Respect that man.
Cien Almas.
Thank
I
you.
respect him. He's the founder of LI.
Which I don't understand why you keep messing up
Was
his name.
supposed to be in the U.S. title picture against Jeff Hardy, but because Vince loves Foreign Hills as a U.S. champion, but since AJ and Shinsuke's bout went south, whereas Shinsuke lost to AJ, because
Every single match,
every
basically.
single match, basically. This is a consolation prize for Shinsuke being the U.S. title champion if he wins on Sunday.
Especially with AJ being the cover boy for
2K19.
2K19. So
Yeah.
that's why they apparently kept the title on AJ.
So,
I'm disappointed about. I'm I'm a big fan. I know back in the LIJ days, you're a fan of that. So,
Yep.
but Shinsuke, he's done well with this heel turn. He's super
I'm not
funny.
mad at this.
I'm not mad either. I would have loved to see more from Andrade, especially we spoke about that earlier. But
Right.
we'll see. What do you think? You're okay with Shinsuke being?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
U.S. champion.
Of course, Shinsuke's the man. So
Yeah, he's a rock star.
he's a rock star.
There's a new signing to WWE currently. Rey Mysterio has signed a new 2-year deal
619.
starting August 1st.
There you
I
go.
think that's so great.
It is. I mean, I think who doesn't love Rey Mysterio, right? So he's definitely missed. I've heard that they might, maybe, possibly put him on 205, which
That
I
was
think
going
would
to
be.
be my question. Where do you go?
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I like see. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's too much of a superstar. For
Yeah,
205.
and the way 205 is booked, it's like a lot of these gems are hidden.
Right.
So to have a legend in itself, in itself, Rey Mysterio be on 205 Live, I don't think that's a good move. So hopefully he's on either SmackDown or Raw.
I would love to see him in SmackDown.
I would.
I was thinking
Come to Team
SmackDown.
Blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's Team Raw, by the way. I'm Team SmackDown.
Is my loyalty to my favorite superstar, but I agree.
She's my favorite superstar too, but
Whatever.
You know.
So the Wrestling Standard has reported. We spoke about this a little bit earlier with Daniel Bryan. They're kind of getting ready for his potential departure from the company because I think his contract is up September 1st. So that's why they're putting him in certain feuds now. I don't see him leaving. They'd be crazy to have that man leave, especially with the whole yes. Could you imagine him doing this in another promotion?
Yeah.
Like, that's a moneymaker.
I don't think he could do it because it's probably
They probably
copyrighted.
trademark it or what have you. Yeah.
I think the contract will be signed. The only thing that's held up right now is the fact that Daniel Bryan wants a lighter schedule. He wants
wants a lighter schedule. This is the same man that.
in terms of lighter schedule, in terms of he don't want to do as many house shows. He doesn't mind doing the TVs.
Yeah.
He wants to be less house shows so he has time to be with.
Does he? He does
Birdie
house
B.
shows.
Yeah, he does house shows right now.
Oh, okay. I've never.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wants to do less house shows so he have time to spend with Birdie B.
Birdie B or Birdie?
Birdie. I call her Birdie B because I felt like that was named after her or the other
Well,
way around.
the Birdie part, but
Yeah, with Birdie. So I think
Okay.
that's why it's the hold up with the contract signing. Is he just want less dates and they're trying to figure out how can it make sense for both parties.
Yeah, I'd be so sad if he.
could you
leaves.
imagine just not seeing
just-
the yes chant? Like
I
that's
know.
that's insane to even grasp at that. But
Absolutely.
They're not gonna let that man.
they
go.
won't.
They're not gonna
They
let
keep
him
they
go.
get like you said all the merch that they have out for him right now, like different shirts and what have you.
They're not selling that
That's-
for $5.99.
Exactly. Or $9.99, get it? Like the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no one really found that joke funny.
No.
That's cool, no problem. Speaking of other promotions, apparently, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, that the WWE wants to buy different indie promotion, like the independents. Ones Evolve, actually, they want to add it to the WWE Network, just kind of expand the content.
Right.
So not necessarily all WWE, WCW, what have you content, but just other promotions.
Yeah, because they also have ICW coming through from the European circuit as well as Progressive, and I think that's why they did the whole UK NXT situation just to help that put all that together for the WWE Network. I just like that the WWE is starting to look into different aspects and bringing more indie wrestling in front of their audience.
What do you think, Ashley? Are you in favor for just people who might not be aware of indie promotions just getting a glimpse of people we don't typically know?
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, so it definitely gives you something, just the different options, not the same people.
Over and over again.
Exactly. What do we have next?
So there's a report going out right now thanks to Dave Meltzer,
Yes.
that there's real life heat between Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss
Ooh.
backstage, and it's not for storyline purposes or for Total Divas.
Because Alexa won't be on, I believe, on the next season. She's actually Paige is back on.
Paige's backstage took Alexa out, or
Yeah, Paige is actually. I saw like the girls' Instagram. They were all at whatever location. Paige was included, and Alexa wasn't there.
Okay, so she didn't really have much storyline anyway in Total Divas with her and Buddy Murphy. So the whole thing started because Nia liked a comment where somebody said that Alexa.
I don't know if that's actually where it started, but that's kind
what brought the attention to it.
Yeah.
That Nia liked the comment that Alexa's been sleeping around to get ahead in the game. What do you think about that?
I would totally have beef with someone
If
they
that's the case.
Yeah, if they were engaging with something like that.
Especially if.
And that's such a shame because they were best friends.
Right.
Like,
Team Rude,
When I heard that, I was like, storyline, like that
that can't be.
But.
And I don't, and as I'm not the biggest Alexa Bliss fan, a lot of people know that you aren't either, but I'm never for bashing anyone or assuming that of someone. I don't think it's right. I know she, worked hard to get to where she's at. I can acknowledge that. So I never like to hear any those type of rumors or actually really speak too much about that. But I did notice I forgot who I was talking to, but there was some correlation. Like we noticed that Nia's not following Alexa anymore. I don't think Paige is, and I think a couple of the other women superstars were really on their social media kind of like, especially like down in the dumps after Money in the Bank when Alexa Bliss won again and won the championship. So I don't know, maybe more or less that has something to do with it. Just
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Not so much that, okay, she's doing this with officials or what have you. That's unfortunate to not be best friends, I guess. But I don't know. I think we forget that even though this is entertainment, it's still a workplace, and you're going to get along with people. You're not going to get along with people. You're going to argue. They're human at the end of the day. So,
I completely agree with that. I'm not big on, jumping on the bandwagon of, the rumor said this and that and the third, because, again, it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
I do see that they might have gotten into an argument about, hey, you're getting favored a lot. Yeah. I don't think it's fair that this, because we all know Nia is very open about how she feels about things, and they probably had that talk behind stage, because I like Alexa. Alexa as a person, she seems pretty cool on Total Divas, very down to earth.
Yeah, she's super.
I met her a bunch of times.
I don't even see that as in her character. You know what I'm saying? So
especially when you hear it goes back to the whole body shaming thing and being not like the self-esteem thing. I know she's, Lexi, the actual person, has suffered from different stuff like that. So I don't see anything in regards to that. But
and plus she's engaged to Buddy Murphy.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying with her. But I wouldn't put that towards that. But anyway, so besides that, your guy Bobby Roode, apparently Vince McMahon is a big fan of Bobby, but he won't push him because he feels of his age. So he feels like this is someone that'll be good for backstage once he retires. I find that a little bit weird, just because his age. You look at someone like AJ Styles, and yes, I know he's phenomenal.
He's phenomenal. You can't compare the two.
But take the
glorious and phenomenal are not the same thing.
But glorious is a pretty good word, no?
It's glorious, but it's not phenomenal.
Anyway, it's AJ's 40, and Bobby is 41. There's a lot of superstars that are in their late 30s, 40s. We bring The Undertaker back every so often. Mm-hmm. Kane is back all of a sudden in the main event and what have you. So it's just like, that's the excuse we're going to use? It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It makes me think like there's more
to it. And that's what they're just putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more so that it's not a Vince product, so Vince is not as eager to push it.
Going back to what I said a few weeks ago.
Right. Only thing, the difference with AJ is he's already, like, I've heard that he's already regret not signing AJ 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So this is why he's making it up now with AJ and giving AJ this kind of push right now.
That makes sense.
Because he already, like he said it backstage, like we should have got signed this guy 10 years ago. So now and AJ has always used that as a battery in his back to be that top person since he's been in the WWE. So that's why I think that's the difference maker between the two. But it's definitely Vince, like, this is not my product. This is not who I created. So I'm not going to push him as much as I wanted to.
Okay. So apparently in the WWE, the overall feeling is that this is a great time to work here. Yay. As of last month, apparently everyone got bonuses. Stock prices are rising for the company. But with that said, I find that odd just because in the next topic that we have, this past Monday, the viewership has been the low for Monday Night Raw is the lowest it's ever seen. The reason why I feel that kind of goes hand in hand because the product, in my opinion at least, hasn't been that great for a while. We see the same people getting pushed and the other people that aren't getting pushed. So I would feel like backstage, at least when it comes to the superstars, maybe the executives feel like this is a great time that they're getting whatever their bonuses and what have you. But in regards to the superstars, might not necessarily be getting the proper TV time or recognition. So I find that, I'm not too sure if that I believe in that. If that this is a great time to work in the WWE. What do you guys think?
I mean, I want to believe it. Like,
Yeah.
And I think it's so cool. They work so hard.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I'm really hoping that
It is a good time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the viewership.
I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that's why they're finding other ways to make the money and not super much support the viewership. Because I'm kind of still confused with viewership. Because if I watch it on my DVR, does it still count towards your numbers?
I think it does. It does count to that. I've read
Yeah.
not too long ago that before that I don't think that was included. But now I think if you have it on, like recorded on your DVR, there's some type of
It goes. I know from when I was on Bravo.
You would know more.
Yeah, it calculated in somehow.
Right,
or
exactly.
They took a certain number, like for taped or
Right.
it was
What have you.
something.
So it's something that plays along into it. But if
Yes.
that's the case, then that's still not that great, especially
Yeah.
when there's nothing really going on at
Right
that time
now.
slot. So there's no excuse as to why viewership is low, except for the product hasn't been that good.
Yeah, the product hasn't been great. In terms of the wrestlers, I've heard backstage is that the wrestlers are fine, honestly, with whether or not being pushed or not.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that they've been pretty happy with the company. They're waiting their time. They're buying their time. A lot of them are. A lot of them made comments about it because I know some, like Carl Anderson has made numerous comments on Twitter about it. He's like, you guys are worried about me being pushed. I'm still getting paid.
I get that, but I just feel, and it goes back to, we said this on previous episodes. I hate to date myself, but just I remember there was a time that wrestlers or superstars, whatever you want to call them, they weren't happy being the 5th, 6th, 10th option.
Right.
Like who was going to be number one? Who's going to be the face of the company? Who's going to be the top heel? Everyone was fighting to be that person. So I find it kind of.
It's a different time.
I find it disheartening that
I do too.
that they're content with that. You know
Just
what I mean?
off subject a little bit. Same things happen in the NBA. People are just content with either taking the money or chasing a ring.
That's
like
true.
it's just a different time
So-
in sports. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's just the way it is right now.
Well, one of the things that might play a big role into why viewership is low, Roman Reigns. You like how I tied it in there? I didn't say after that. I
Good
kind of
job.
just put
There
it.
you go.
There you go. Apparently, this was pitched directly to Vince McMahon that for SummerSlam we're gonna have Roman versus Brock yet again, and with Brock winning, and then Brock, that's like a tongue twister. Braun coming and cashing in and winning the title. What do you think?
I love it.
It takes the title off of Brock finally.
Yeah.
You for it?
Yes.
I'm for it. I need
Leave
anybody.
Brock alone. It's like, no.
I need anyone at this point to come and take the
leave
title from
I
me.
would
Brock
love to see
alone.
Braun.
Win it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Braun should have won it the first time.
I agree. Yeah, so speaking of which, Apparently Brock will be. He cut a promo. He was showed up on UFC.
Yeah.
That's how you call it, 226 or 226. How do you call
USC pay per
226?
226.
Okay, so yeah, he cut a promo, right? And a lot of people were like speculating, when is he going back to UFC? Apparently, he would be eligible to fight again in January 2019, and it looks like that's where they're going. So,
Yeah, my only thing is if Brock loses the title, like, where's Paul Heyman?
Yeah,
well,
I feel you.
and I agree, but I think this is Paul Heyman he
finds a way.
He not only that he finds a way. He's so gifted. Put him with someone that actually needs it and has potential to be a beast. I want to use another word, but you know what I mean. That's someone that needs to be on TV, not hidden somewhere at a table or whatever, coming up with creative ideas. Put that man in front of the camera. Let him do his magic with someone else. Brock, I'm done with Brock. You know what I mean? There's so much that you can do at this point. We know he's the beast. I feel like at this, Paul's so good at what he does on the mic. However, I feel like every week he more or less says the same thing about Brock because there's nothing else to say about him. So it's not so much about Paul having a bad promo because that's not the case. That'll never be the case. That's impossible, right? But it's just like it's the same thing because you have nothing to go against with Brock. It's time to let Brock drop the title, go to UFC.
Yeah.
And let Paul work his magic with someone else and actually build someone else. AOP, I agree. They need a manager. I know you want Paul whenever on the screen. She just wants.
I think AOP.
Okay.
Hey Matt, what's the chances of Brock winning this match at UFC? Very slim.
Interesting.
You think so?
Against DC?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Wow,
Oh
okay.
wow. Did you see his appearance in the UFC this past weekend? What'd you think about his promo and everything?
Very staged.
It came off very scripted WWE like. So.
What if they let Brock win both titles? Oh, that'd be so amazing.
Anyway, let's move. We're moving on to the next topic because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Basically, this past G1 special in New Japan Wrestling,
Right.
Jim Ross apparently suffered a broken rib when Jay White switched ways. Jay White, he threw Juice Robinson into the guardrail, which hit JR, and apparently he broke his rib.
Yeah, that was in the stage. It wasn't scripted or anything like that.
Yeah,
So even his co-host was very upset.
Yeah.
And kind of broke character. Is ready.
And
to,
actually
ready,
went
went after him.
Yeah,
Because it was just careless. It was a careless move.
It was.
So.
ESPN apparently wanted to acquire Raw and SmackDown. You're aware that SmackDown is going to Fox, right?
Yes.
So apparently ESPN were in the running in regards to that, but they couldn't afford because you think about it, right? ESPN, it's essentially for sports, right? So it's just like
They just reported.
not that the fact that it's reporting. There's different nights where, for example, Monday Night Football. You know, you can't have Raw on Monday, so they can't afford to have a show air 52 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Got it.
My favorite wrestler, The Rock, he was on Good Morning America. This is my favorite wrestler ever, The Rock, by the way. He was on Good Morning America promoting his movie. He mentioned that his daughter, Simone, his oldest daughter, she actually wants to be a WWE superstar. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's really cool.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. Well, she has a great teacher, so
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
yeah. So I'd root for her because I have to.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, I don't know if you guys heard recently, he had to have another surgery, intestinal surgery, but his daughter, Charlotte Flair, reported that it was successful and he would be out the hospital in 3 to 4 business. I always say business days. I'm a banker, so it's just like I say that. It's embedded.
Yeah.
Good gosh. 3 to 4 days he will be outside. He will be out the hospital, so that's good news.
Yes, guess what? Get well to Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And speaking of Charlotte,
Yes,
Charlotte Flair discussed how people said she wouldn't get a call up because she looked manly after she made the main roster move. Fans said it was because of her dad at a Girl Up Summit.
Yeah, so basically when Charlotte was in NXT, people felt she was going to get called up, like you said, because of her look. There goes the whole body shaming thing. And then after that, the excuse was the main roster move. She only got called up because of that. So that leads into our other debate question for the night. What do you think of Charlotte's run in the WWE so far? Do you think, is it mainly because her last name is Flair? Is it because it's her talent? What do you think?
I mean, I can see people saying it's her
Her
father, but her talent speaks for herself. You
True.
know, that maybe she got called up because of him, but that doesn't mean, you know, that she was going to be, you know, great and succeed. And,
True.
you know, the name can only take you so far,
True.
as we've seen before.
Right.
I want to see her, and I think, you know, after her surgery, you know, she's gonna come back for SummerSlam, be even,
More
you know,
dominant.
stronger. Yeah, because I love dominant
Women.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like,
In general, Charlotte, yeah.
I love her with the title.
She definitely
She
brought
deserves it.
she brought prestige definitely to the women's title.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think her success in the WWE, yes, it has been fast. Yes, you know, her last name is Flair. Of course, she's going to capitalize off the lineage. They've done it with Dustin Rhodes. They've done it with Cody. It's just, they've done it with Randy Orton. It's done. That's how it's going to be. If they didn't do it with her, then they would have said something else like, oh, you didn't do it because she's a woman. And that, you know, that it's always a positive to a negative to a positive. Do I think that her success was fast? Yes, only because the way that the WWE works, they like just like how they said about Bobby Roode's age. They go off your age and they want to get as much as they can from you before you hit that ceiling. So yes, it's been fast, but I don't think that it's not warranted to the point where people were like in the body shaming and stuff like that. I think that's overdone in my opinion. Again, like you said, she's athletic. She's held her own in the ring. She's not dangerous to nobody. She's just as talented as the next person. So I'm okay with her success. I'm not ecstatic. I'm okay with it.
Right. Well, what do I think? I've mentioned this before. I was super annoyed when Asuka lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I posed the question, if Charlotte's last name wasn't Flair and if it was Lynch instead or Banks, is she breaking Asuka's streak or going over Asuka? I feel that has a lot to do with her success. Now, granted, she's a 4-horsewoman. I'm always down for, you know, 4 horsewomen. I think Charlotte's a great talent. Her moonsault is a work of art. When you know, recently it's been a little sloppy, but most of the time,
Poetry in motion.
exactly. You know, when her and Sasha had their feud back in 2016, that was the best feud, not just with the women, but the whole roster. You know what I mean?
She was a few times.
She was a fantastic heel. You know, she did a great job. She's a great talent. You know, no one will say that I've said is not good at what she does. However, I do feel that her last name being Flair has helped her tremendously because, again, would if Charlotte was Charlotte Lynch, is she winning at WrestleMania? You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
I just and it goes with the same thing with my issue with Alexa Bliss. Like, I get that they're great talents, but there's other people that are super deserving of that spot. And if we're gonna we boo, or not me and you obviously, but people stop it. People boo Roman Reigns, for example. People boo Roman Reigns for that same exact reason, right? He's always in the top spot. He's always in the picture. But we don't boo Charlotte or Alexa for that same exact reason. And I just think it's not fair. You know what I mean? Me, again, going back to what I said before, I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan. And just her treatment on the main roster, just kind of being second or third, fourth option, but yet using her to promote certain things. It's just like, okay, you see she's gifted. You see Becky, of course, you know what I mean, is super good, but she's only carried the title once. You know what I mean? And what are you doing with Becky? What are you doing with Bailey? You know what I mean? It's just, there's other talent, and they should be utilizing other people. So you have options. So it's not the same people every night.
Right.
You know, being pushed, and it gets stale because it shows again with the viewership with Raw and then also SmackDown. You know, people are rejecting the product because it's the same thing every time. So again, I think they're great talent, but I do feel certain people have certain edges. No, right?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not happy, ecstatic, but it's okay. It's okay success to me. Like you said, I don't agree with her defeating Asuka at WrestleMania because what ended up happening was that she lost the title to Carmella. So then now you killed a winning streak
with Asuka.
Yeah.
And now what is Asuka doing?
And now what Asuka doing? And then she just moved to SmackDown. She didn't win the title, so why is she on SmackDown now?
There you go.
So it's like consistency in storylines that bothers me.
But that's our show.
That's our show. We had Ashlee White joining us here on the Mixed Tag Show, our very first guest.
And we had fun, right?
Yes, I loved it.
This summer, look out for her new podcast, Wrestling in Heels with Ashlee White.
Is it heels or stilettos?
Heels.
Heels. Okay, wrestling in
wrestling.
heels. Okay, sometimes he mess up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
See
just
what
want.
you see what she's doing?
I want to make sure you're putting our girl over.
I am. And with
Okay,
that
you're
being
a Paul
said,
Heyman guy. You have to put your. I'm just saying.
I
Listen.
got her. You see, we matching, right?
I see
You've been
it.
trying to match for about how many weeks
And
now?
you decided to match with her. No problem.
Because we're Paul Heyman people.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ashlee. You plug anything in
Anything you're working on right now?
besides the podcast?
It's just really the podcast. That's that's my main focus right now.
Is there any foundations you want to shout out or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been on the Heart and Stroke Ball
Okay.
for the American Heart Association for 5 years.
Nice.
And super excited. This is my first year I'm joining the American Heart Association Red Ball in New
Applaud
York
that woman.
City. They're young professionals.
Nice.
So I have a lot going on.
You are a busy woman.
Yeah.
So if they want to catch you and everything that you do, can they follow you on Instagram and Twitter?
At Ashlee White 23, and I spell my name ASHLEE.
There you go.
There you go.
You have
and
to
23 because it's her birthday.
Which is the 20? Is it next week or
23rd.
the following week? No, I know.
The following, I
The
think.
following week.
Yes.
She's a July baby, so she's automatically awesome.
Yes.
There you go.
Don't forget, today's sale for the WWE shop is 50% off replica tag titles.
Wow.
Yeah, Legend merch as well. So, and actually, every Thursday up until SummerSlam, they're putting out different throwback Legends.
Yeah.
Today's shirt is Dude Love.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that's super cool. If you're a Dude Love fan, definitely get that. You can get these wonderful. What are you doing?
Dude love.
Anyway, you can get all this merch at the WWE shop. Make sure you go to our link. That'll
Right
be
there in your bio.
provided in our description on YouTube. We put it on our Instagram page and Twitter page at
The Mixed Tag Show. Or you can follow us on our own personal at
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
At Blue Magic Mind, spell how it sound. At Ashlee White 23.
Boom.
And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just push the button right
We're
there.
close to 100 subscribers. That's our goal. So we have our own
100.
domain.
You know what I think?
What?
Maybe we should do a shirt giveaway.
Well, we mentioned that earlier in the show that we're gonna do the shirt giveaway. So I don't know why you say you were thinking about that because we're doing it.
Because maybe I thought about it earlier and I want to think about it again.
Weird. Okay. We are
don't
giving
understand.
away the Roman Reigns shirt, right?
Yeah, let's go with the Roman Reigns shirt.
Yes.
Sure.
Since we just put out that skit, it's gonna be a size small, right?
Okay.
In women's sizes. So definitely, if you're a woman, look out for that. We'll give you the instructions on how you can possibly win. And yeah, the next week we'll have call-ins to discuss.
The TLC.
Nope, Extreme Rules.
Sorry, Extreme Rules. You're right.
All right, so definitely next week, Ashley, before your podcast comes, we'll take out Blue because he's fired at this point. He's canceled. So,
Anywho. Don't forget to send us your questions in our DMs. And now that Instagram added this new feature,
Okay.
Maybe you'll send us some questions during shows as well. We can answer those.
All right. That's our show. Thank you for listening and watching.
The Mixed Tag Show. And on that note, Too Sweet Me.
Oh, you didn't say.
Wow.
Okay. Boom. Let's do it together.
1, 2, 3.
Boom.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, Ashlee.
It's the Mixed Tag Show
Mixed Tag Show.
with Jenna
And Blue.
Damn.